KCFX HD4 Harrisonville, K279PI Kansas City, 103.7 FM. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City. You are listening live to the program. Your teams, your town, your program.
The last couple days, Ken Walker, his shoe has been causing swelling on his ankle there, so we're trying to get that down. But he's okay. He's gonna be fine.
It's gotta be the shoes. Shoes.
Number nine.
Now there's a liner to left center field, and that is going to roll deep. The Blue Jays get two, a chance for an out at second base, and the game is over.
And barring any overturn, the Royals will win this game 5-3.
Ball on the field is confirmed. The runner is out.
The Kansas City Royals have now won 9 in a row.
Number nine.
And now, wondering if the Royals will ever lose again, Soren Petro.
Right you are, Kay. Right you are. Petro on the program on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you for joining us here on a hot and steamy summer day as we barrel towards the third preseason game. We barrel towards the Royals making history. I mean,
they tied history last night. I'm not sure if that 1910
what piece of history did they tie?
Royals, the first team to begin a 9-game winning streak, at least 24 games below 500. The second team ever. The first team to do it since the White Sox in 1910.
Wow.
The beginning of the dead ball, the middle of the dead ball era. 1910.
Have you looked up 10? Are you ready with 10? Or no, would that jinx it? Let it happen, Curtis.
No, I'd have to look. I mean, if the first time, I'd just have to look at the 2000 or 1910 White Sox and see if they got to 10.
Frank was out this week, so we didn't have Frank opinions yesterday. But a good question would be: are you happy about the win streak, or are you upset about the win streak? Because there is, and I'd just like to see the percentage. I think most would say they're happy, but I think there is a group that's like, you're just screwing up the draft pick.
Well,
don't you think?
Yes, it depends, though. A lot of times when a team who's barreling towards a high pick and they lose a couple spots, like the Raiders have done, it's in the service. I mean, they're really getting nothing out of the end of that year that pretends to them playing well the next year, that transfers over. Because it's a lot of, we're going to, turn it over to a degree, roster-wise. The fact that the Royals have said, we kind of just talked about this a little bit on Monday, the fact that the Royals have kind of said, we're going to bring a lot of these guys back. I mean, if they drop 3 spots in the draft because Jack Caglione and Bobby Witt and Vinny, like the guys that we know are going to play next year, start playing well, I think it certainly hurts the draft pick, but it makes you feel better about the idea that I think they're going to be successful. There's somewhere in there.
Can I ask a question? What was the purpose of this definition that you're doing here? Because the lead to it was, and there are some people that are saying all you're doing is hurting the draft pick, and then you go all the way through it and you go, it's certainly hurting the draft pick. Yes,
they
that's
are hurting
what
the
they're
draft
upset
pick.
about.
But I'm saying I don't think it's just as simple as hurting the draft pick, because a lot of teams you're hurting the draft pick. There's nothing to be gained by winning and playing well at the end of the year. Because
okay, so what is being gained? We've asked this question. I know, but you said guys are going to be on the team. No. Well, but Vinny, that's not keeping Vinny. 9 wins is not what keeps Vinny Pasquantino on this team. He's under contract. He's going to be here.
Right. No, I'm saying what not keeps him on the team. Playing well, you might fall 3 spots in the draft, but if in the service of that you can see things in the final. I'm not mad because the final month and a half, if the Royals are players that they're going to have to use next year are playing well.
What does that do for next year?
It makes you feel like they're.
So you believe that taking 6 months or 5 months off, 6 months in this case, because they're not going to go to the playoffs. And this is a real question. I'm not being flippant, because I think this is the debate. I think this is a real debate, and I put this out there, and you have not had this kind of answer till now. So I'm intrigued by it. So you think if they play well, then that means at the end of this year, that means that they're going to play better next year.
I think it increases the likelihood that the players who you're counting on for the future are going to be better. If they play like crap and guys like
Michael Garcia finished strong last year. What happened this year? Vinny Pasquantino finished strong last year. What happened this year? That's my point. I don't think there's any. I think that is the exact. I think that's what teams will do, and I think that is the fear. What you're saying is the fear that Royals fans have that J.J. Piccolo and Matt Quatraro are going to sit at that desk and they're going to talk about how they finished strong, and therefore that's why, boy, we're right there, and that's going to have them thinking, see, we are a good team, and they're not going to go get an everyday right fielder. They're going to continue to play Salvador Perez at first base and DH. They're not going to look at any trade offers for Michael Wacha because he's clearly going to pitch as good or better. They would say that is absolute fool's gold that we're tired of hearing about and then paying more for ticket prices.
Right.
Because, oh, no, you should invest in us and believe in us because over the long haul, the measurement we do, the whole season, yes, we sucked, but here for this little part right here, we were good, therefore buy into that. And they would say, you're part of the problem.
Now, if they do take from that they don't need to make any moves in the offseason, that's another thing. So maybe there's another factor involved. But I think if Jack Caglione continues to play well and is hot down the stretch, and Bobby Witt Jr. has got it.
It means nothing for next year.
I think it may be.
Why didn't? That's my point. Back up. Why doesn't Michael Garcia? Why didn't he have a better year? Why didn't? Because they did exactly what you're talking about, and it had no positive effect whatsoever on those two players' season this year. So why would we think? I mean, I think it's a great case study because it's a view. This right here, your view of this, is a window into the mindset of fans. We want to believe it means something, therefore it does, even though in the overwhelming history, those who don't, we talk about it all the time, right? Those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it. What does history tell us? It means nothing. It means nothing, right? They either are ballers or they're not, and playing better down the stretch has no effect whatsoever on next year. Oh, we'll find the case and say, well, they heated up in 14 and they kept it going into 15. You know what they did? They changed out the parts, too. They didn't just sit back and go. They went and got a better DH. Billy Butler was out. In was Kendrys Morales. He's better. They got better. And I think that's the fear. Like, I don't think one has anything to do with the other. And I think fans are right. I think they're absolutely right to fear that the Royals will look at a strong finish. The front office will look at a strong finish and go, we don't really need to push hard. We just need a couple of things here and there. They're going to look at Nate Pearson, who was released by a sub-500 Houston Astros team, and they're going to be like, we have our closer. That's everybody's fear. And you saw him last night dance around, load the bases, and this is the guy who they've already employed him. Their mindset is already to employ him as the fireman. He's not even just closing. We're looking for that inning where he's up against the toughest guys. Even though there's nothing in Nate Pearson's career other than the fact that he was a first-round pick years ago. There's nothing in his career that says...
And that he can hit 100.
You should... Yeah, exactly, and he has velocity. But there's nothing that says you should deploy this man as a weapon out of your bullpen. But that's how they're already treating him because he's doing the 9th sometimes and the 8th sometimes. And I love that you say that because I think that's my fear. I share the fear of everyone out there that they will look at this team because I think it's what they did last year. Well, we came from below 500. They did it last year. So, no, we're in contention. And then they come out of the gates healthy and they suck. Mm-hmm. And then they get adversity and they are not a good enough team to handle the adversity.
I guess I don't think winning is an issue. If we talked about what's important the rest of the year, we don't necessarily look at wins and losses. We look, are the young core players, are they getting better? If they're getting better, that's what you root for in any game. If that leads to winning, I don't think the fact that they won. I think it'd be too much to ask for Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen and some of the younger players are going to count on to be really good, but also lose a bunch of games and end up with the 4th overall pick.
Well, I mean, listen.
So I'm not really. That's why I'm not bothered by the win.
We've said it time and time again. First of all, we don't get to affect change. Right? Like, and we're not asking anyone to sit guys down.
Right.
We're simply saying, as a result, is this winning streak? And I think the answer to the rebuttal to the fans that are like, they're just screwing up the draft pick and are not enjoying the Royals playing winning baseball, the answer to them is enjoy the ride. I know we're not going to get all the way to L.A., which was where we wanted to go, and we're going to have to turn around in Vegas. But look at some of the scenery along the way, right? That's the rebuttal, is are you just in it? Is the only time you can, derive enjoyment from watching your baseball team is in the postseason. The rest of it is just this arduous task that has to be accomplished along the way before we can finally get to the point where, it's the old major leagues. Oh, they're just going to blow it.
Yeah, they're just going to blow it in the end.
I mean, yes, they're not going to the playoffs anyway. You're right. But they got to play these games. And when they take the field, I've said it before, I want them to win. I root for them to win baseball games. But in the big picture of things, would they be a better organization if they were forced to learn the lesson? Because I don't think they learned what they should have learned last year. Or they knew it, and they busted their ass everywhere they could go, and there just were no trade partners. There just was no more money to be had. There was there was just no way to get better. They exhausted every possible option, and they just couldn't do it. I suppose that could be in an off season, but it can't be year after year after year.
Yeah.
Right? And what are the biggest changes they have made since 24? Changes. Drafting a guy sixth and then watering him and watching him. Like, don't tell me Jack Caglione is a change. Everybody gets a draft pick. They had a high draft pick because they sucked. And so they took Jack the year before. And so they took Jack Caglione, and they've done a nice job in getting him to this point. We hope he's going to do even better. And we'll say they've done a great job in taking a talented kid and making him a star. That's what we hope. But right now, that's not change.
No.
That's just everybody gets a draft pick.
Right.
And every player you pick has a chance to come up the system and help you.
This isn't a change in philosophy. And in some degrees, it's a change in just result. They had a high pick who's actually taken off a little bit, but it isn't necessarily because they decided to do something
That's not a change, right?
Yeah.
They had to draft someone.
Yeah. And if that didn't happen, it'd be like, what are they doing? They just did what you expect with number
Carter
6
Jensen,
overall.
he was already in the system. Not a change.
Nope.
Okay? And by the way, you're supposed to have guys come from your system and get to your team and contribute.
It might not seem that way.
It might not seem that way as a Royals fan throughout, sorry, Dayton, but much of the Dayton Moore era where guys came up and oftentimes were given spots. I mean, God bless Bubba Starling, but he never earned a spot on a Royals roster. He was given it because they're like, well, let's throw the Hail Mary, bring him up and see if it tries. Teams bring guys up that don't deserve to bring up so they can be like, this many guys in our draft made the big leagues. But Bubba Starling didn't earn his way up. Yeah. And so for years, I think as fans, like, there's almost like, well, we got Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione to the big leagues. Yeah, it's kind of like the husband who comes home and goes, well, I didn't cheat on you today. Well, what do you want, a cookie? Like, you're not supposed to. Oh, you got a couple guys in the big leagues. You mean like you're supposed to do?
I ain't never been to jail.
Chris Rock. I ain't been to jail. Yeah, you're not supposed to go to jail. What do you want, a cookie?
Your low expectation having blank.
So what changes have they made? Like since 24, really. What are the changes that they've made? Like off the top of my head, this was not at all where I was going to go, but I do enjoy the exercise of it. They traded the Florida pitcher for
Brady Singer.
Brady Singer went in that deal for the second baseman. Okay, he's already out of my mind. Jonathan India. Singer for India. That was one change. And they've signed a handful of guys along the way, in free agents. The biggest signing that they've had, Carlos Estevez, who paid big dividends last year.
Yeah.
So did they go get another Carlos Estevez in this offseason? No. They got Alex Lang for like $1 million. No offense to the local kid, but not exactly Carlos Estevez. 2 years, $22 million, $23 million, I think, for Carlos Estevez, with an option for another $11 million versus 1 for 1.5. That was, Nick Mears came over as part of the Isaac Collins trade. is a change. Who else? Who am I missing? Anybody else? But none of the position players have changed other than Isaac Collins, right?
No.
You added Lane Thomas as a platoon
Lane
back.
Thomas was a free agent acquisition, 1 year, $5 million.
And is gone.
And which I'm happy, because if he wasn't, if you weren't going to extend him, then get something for him.
Yeah.
But I mean, so that's where and to come back to the original, soapbox, I share the fear of many fans that are looking at this team and going, by winning, it's going to give them the opportunity to just stand pat.
Yeah.
Which is largely what they've done. There have not been major overall. Singer for India was the one big move. It didn't work, and now it's like they're gun shy, or they can't find another trade partner. And listen, sometimes the best deals are the ones you don't make. They didn't keep going on Anthony Santander, and we're happy because of it. They have not put Kendry Chorio into a deal for Brendan Donovan, which was reportedly, and I heard, was maybe where the Cardinals were thinking was what it was going to take to get Brendan Donovan away from the Cardinals. So they didn't do that, right? And I'm happy. Those are two moves that could have been made. They didn't make, and they were good, and it's good that they didn't. I'm not here to tell you that everything they've done is wrong. That's not my point. But I think everything they've done has been based upon what we've talked about with Jeff Passan a number of times, that 24 was not somewhat of an aberration. It was not a perfect storm of positivity, mostly health. It was proof positive that they have the core of a championship team and just some rough edges need to be polished. And that is not, over the last 2 years, proven to be the case. And if a win streak of 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever it ends up being, they win all the way into the wild card, okay, you did something, okay? If they win all the way to a winning record and don't get the wild card, which it looks like that might get you the wild card, but if they do that, okay, your third consecutive winning season, you've accomplished something. But if you put together a win streak and then frankly play 500 ball after that and you're 14 under, and you say, you throw that, you take a timeline and say, well, from this date, with our 9, we were 9 over 500.
Yeah.
And you say, and therefore, no, we're coming back, and Salvy's still got his first baseman's mitt, and we're planning on DHing him a lot, and Jack's going to run around in right field again, and Kyle Isbell's going to play center field all by himself, and maybe we'll find another Lane Thomas to partner up out there, and we're good with Massey because, he hadn't been hurt for a little bit now, and he's hit a little bit, and so that's who he really is, and you come back and say, we're all good? I say, step into my office because you're blank and fired.
It's not 7-minute abs.
No, because
6-minute.
And that's what we talked about yesterday with Sam McDowell was in terms of the offense that he quoted them as like, well, I think they feel like they're pretty good with the offense. They've scored 565 runs. That is more than the Angels, Mariners, Rangers, Guardians. That's 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Blue Jays. So that would put them
10th.
10th.
American League.
So if they finish 10th in runs scored and they're like, no, but we got all these guys.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Look around the diamond.
This cannot be what you point to and say, this is why we're not doing anything. And that is a real fear for fans.
Yeah. And I do agree completely with the idea that would it be better if they were forced into changing their style? But if the cause of that is someone like, the younger players you're going to need to count on tanking, would it be better? We're going to force them to change their style, but we also don't know what Jack Caglianone's going to be. I think it's almost too hard of a needle to thread to say we're going to have something happen over the last month and a half of the season that's going to show, okay, Jack Caglianone can get it.
And lose.
And lose.
Is it a hard needle to thread? Because I point to 2023. They lost 106 games, and the next year they were in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's possible.
Last year they rallied. This year they suck. There's no
If you can do that.
There's no everyone looks at, well, 13 they made a run, that's what made 14 happen. No. You know what happened? They were stuffed to the gills with top 5 picks. And I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. And they basically underachieved on every single one. Alex Gordon is the only one that I will listen to as the number 2 overall pick. You could say, well, they got what you deserve from a number 2 overall pick. But when you're picking second, Bobby Witt Jr. is what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Not Mike Moustakas.
No.
And number 3, you're thinking more than what Eric Hosmer gave this team. Now, we look at those guys because they were part of a championship, and that all makes it better. But they had number 1 overall pick Luke Hochaver, number 2 overall pick Alex Gordon, number 2 overall pick Mike Moustakas, number 3 overall pick Eric Hosmer, number 4 overall pick Christian Cologne. And I need to go to their draft, which I will do. I'm missing. Aaron Crow was in that era.
Yeah, 11, I think.
He was 11. That's a high pick.
He may have been on the 14 team.
You dealt in the midst of that. You also had pick. Finnegan was 17, but he got. Wasn't that his name?
Brandon Finnegan.
Yeah, Brandon Finnegan
in Cincinnati for Cueto.
Yeah, he pitched in the World Series in 14.
He was in 14. Yeah, he was the 14 draft. I'm sorry, he was picked number 17 in the 14 draft.
So Kyle Zimmer in 2012, I want to say.
Well, how about this? Like here, so we're talking about 14 and 15. In 15, you drafted Ash Russell and Nolan Watson, later picks, right? Brandon Finnegan in 14, who you put into a deal in 15 to help you win, and he was number 17. Foster Griffin was 28. Chase Vallett was 40. Those don't count. But Hunter Dozier was in your system in 13 as pick number 8. Sean Manaea, pick number 34. Yeah, Kyle Zimmer, pick number 5. Pick number 5. So, and Bubba Starling was in your system from 11. He was pick number 5.
Yeah.
So at the time that team comes to fruition,
some of the best things they got out of that group was the players they got for Manaea and Finnegan.
They traded J.P. Howe. They traded Zach Greinke before they really got rolling. Greinke was what did it. But they had pick 14, Billy Butler, pick 2, Alex Gordon, pick 1, Hochaver, 2, Moustakas. Heck, Montgomery was a sandwich pick at 36. 3, Hosmer, 12, Aaron Crow, 4, Christian Cologne, 5, Bubba Starling, 5, Kyle Zimmer. I mean, if Kyle Zimmer had been the caliber of prospect at 5, a pick higher than Jack Caglione went at 6, but he had the timeline that Jack Caglione had, he'd have been in the rotation. That's how they got there, because they were swimming in high picks.
Yep.
And when you get that many, even a guy who's a disappointment at 3 overall in his career, mildly, I mean, I think, again, at 3, you're thinking star, right?
Yeah.
Was Eric Hosmer a star?
No.
I mean, if you want to say he went to the All-Star game a couple of times, okay. But was Eric Hosmer, remember they called him, there's only one animal in this draft. That was the quote of whoever was in charge of the draft at the time. And it's Eric Hosmer. There's nothing about that career that said animal, unless it's like a bird that's going after worms, because that's what most of his hardest hit balls did, kill worms.
We're describing the old hairstyle. That's it.
Yes.
When you rank the 3rd overall picks in history offensively, he's not going to be in the top 10.
No.
Or the top 20.
Yeah, I mean,
he might be one of the only ones to have a ring, but it's not going to.
He's probably there's probably better return on Eric Hosmer than we realize. Like, do it. Put in the draft and pick number 3 all time, and let's see where it is. You're going to hear some, but the biggest drop off in the draft between one pick to the next is between 1 and 2, and so Bob Witt Jr. is more about the Orioles screwed the pooch. Sorry, Fido, but not that the Royals nailed it, right? They picked the wrong. They could have had anybody. The Royals were taking whichever one they didn't take, and the Orioles screwed it up and handed it to them. Now, granted, I mean, and I say that just because that's what everybody said beforehand. It was still possible. People would have been saying something different if the Royals had been chirping about somebody else. But the Royals were part of what had everybody talking. They're like, Adley Rutschman and Bobby Witt Jr., 2 can't misses.
Of the position players taken 3rd overall, he is 9th in all-time in WAR.
Okay, so that's what I say. He's better than we realize.
Molitor, Machado, Longoria, Matt Williams, Lonnie Smith, Troy Glaus, and Jose Cruz. ahead of him.
And then who's behind him?
Dick Schofield, Mike Lieberthal, Hubie Brooks. You're dropping down from 19 to, let's see, Corey Patterson, Mike Zanino.
Okay. So, they didn't do that bad. I'll amend that and say Hosmer lived up to 3. How about 2? Put in 2.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see if Moustakas lived up to 2. Because, but the bigger overall point and the original jumping off point of the discussion is, I hear you if you are a fan sitting there going, this win streak sucks because it's just going to let them keep doing what they're doing, and what they've been doing hasn't been good enough. And I hear that. I think you should enjoy each game, each night. Winning baseball is fun. And so I hope that you can enjoy that. I don't mind wondering about that and even fearing it and even expecting it. I don't mind those emotions from Royals fans. I don't mind those a lot more than I mind Matt Quatraro doesn't know what he's doing. That flat out pisses me off. Like, you better really come at what it is that this man is doing wrong. And he makes things that I think are mistakes. I'd like to sit down and have a 4-hour owner's discussion with him about, okay, why this? Okay, so that because of this, but then what about this? What about this? And go to the nth degree with him. And I might be like, nope, you did everything right. I open that up. But I know he does way more things, way more right than he does wrong. But I hear you, and I share the fear if you're like, I just don't know. I'm really, really concerned. And frankly, I even expect that this is going to empower them to not make the kind of bold moves that I think they need to make. This is going to empower them to not go have the chat with Salvador Perez that it definitely appears he needs to hear. You're a backup catcher. Because playing him at first base makes his offense even worse. Even worse. At DH, even worse. You need to rake. You need to get on base. And those are things that don't happen now. Backup catcher, 60 games. Some DH here and there against the lefty that you've got a good track record against. Yeah, I hear you. But that needs to be it. And we know that was not the conversation that was had, nor was that what Salvador Perez expected this year, because they had a to-do over saying he needed a break, for God's sake. Which I will go back and say, no one got mad at me when I said, somebody go tell Salvi how it works. Somebody go remind him who the boss is. Because we're here to watch winning baseball now. I love what you did in 15, 14. Really, the whole 13 to 17 was fun for me. But you're here to do what it takes to win now. And I am not interested in sacrificing year after year, game after game, so that we hopefully get a weekend where Kansas City can convene in Cooperstown in 12 years, because he ain't going in on the first ballot. No, win now, winning baseball now, playoff baseball now. Make those decisions. I share the concerns of Somebody else dies? He's already dead, right? This is Tom Petty, right?
Yeah.
Just didn't know.
Somebody.
We're doing dead musicians. Kyle invests in that for about one break, and then he's done with the tribute. We got one Dolly Parton song.
Unless Stevie Nicks passed away. She's on this
Stevie
song
Nicks.
as well. But I don't think she did.
Is that Tom Petty and Stevie Nicks? Is that who that is?
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like that's him.
That's Petty.
Sounds kind of weird. That sounded different.
It's Petty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you question my musical chops? I think time and time again, the feud has proven that I am the superior.
That's a different recording.
Musical.
5 answers on the board. Name a Tom Petty album.
Full Moon Fever?
Damn the Torpedoes.
Is Full Moon Fever one?
I don't know. I can check it out.
Well, let's see if I got one. Running Down a Dream. I'll just try some of the songs I know. Maybe they were album. Maybe the title of the album, too.
Let's see.
I think Full Moon Fever was one.
Let's check it out.
Let's see if I got one. I am thrilled when you do those categories and I get one.
Yes.
I am
Full Moon Fever.
I am tickled.
Ta-da. Well done.
Yeah. There you go.
That was a different version of that song, though.
We're not concerned.
It was Petty.
You're missing the
never
point.
heard that.
You're missing the point. Let's move on.
You're missing the overall.
Let's move on. 913-3810810. Curtis pirated the show, decided we'd talk Royals to start.
Yeah,
but we can talk Chiefs, sporting. Sporting making some moves.
Yeah,
Huh?
how about that?
Spending some cash. Getting one of the, I think it's the largest in MLS transfer ever.
Wow.
What's the kid's name? Help me out. I read it today, but I know his dad played here.
Wolf.
Owen Wolf, coming from Austin
Son of
FC.
Josh.
Son of Josh Wolf. I think was Josh Wolf an original Kansas City Wizard? Then I called Josh Wolf out on the pitch at Arrowhead.
That's right, you did.
The first year when I did the stadium announcing.
When they were the Wizards.
So we have a connection, me and Aaron Wolf.
True.
I once said his
remember
dad's name in public.
I remember you.
We'll be best buddies.
That's fantastic.
But he's young, outstanding young talent, spending some bucks.
Chiefs.
Excited about that.
Yeah, Chiefs trading a 7th-round pick for
a backup guard. Exciting times is what you're saying.
It is.
Okay.
And at some point, I'll figure out what his pronunciation of his last name is.
Sam already had it last night on the Red, Gold, and Bold.
As you do?
Sure.
As you do? E-Z-E-U-D-U.
Okay.
E-Z-E-U-D-U. Easy to spell.
Easy, you do you?
Yeah. It's easy-E, you do you.
Well,
U-D-U. Easy-E. Actually,
Easy
first one is easy-E.
U-D-U.
U-D-U.
That's
Easy-E, U-D-U. A pair of palindromes in the middle. His name is 2 palindromes.
That's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
It does not mean that Trey Smith is hurt. I think they've been looking for a guard. They feel like their interior guys are better centers than guards. Caliendo and Norzad. Norzad graded great pass blocking the other night. Not so great run blocking, but they just seem to be allergic to him being the guy.
And I don't know if the fact that he comes from Matt Nagy's tree, or for the Giants' OC is Matt Nagy is a good thing or a bad thing. Is it the fact that Matt Nagy recommended him? Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
there's some people I'm sure that are fans who'd be like, maybe not.
Let's go to the phones. 913-3810810. Marty, lead us off today. You're in the program, Marty. What's going on?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, let's be glad that they haven't tried to trot Carter Jensen out to play left field or center field so far.
Give it time.
Right. I feel like ever since Whit Merrifield was able to play most positions, it like rotted the Royals' brain, and they decided to try to place everybody everywhere for the most part, with the exception of Whit Jr. But I think Isabel's the 4th outfielder on the winning team. I mean, he's pretty good defensively, but I feel like next season he needs to be a 4th outfielder. We need to upgrade the outfield. This season we traded Waters and somebody else for Thomas and Collins, kind of a horrid lateral move. We need to somehow upgrade the outfield.
Well, I think Isaac Collins was an upgrade.
Barely.
And the lefty, no, not barely. Their outfield was like 30th with a rock, and it's like 8th overall in production this year. Now, a large part of that is Jack Caglione's offensive emergence and counting him as an outfielder, even though much of his production has come once he played first base. If you look at his splits, he's got more home runs and I think just maybe about just
I was like, do you
less than
think
half the
Jack
games he's
Gutierrez
got more home runs
offensive
at first base than
production?
he does at outfield. So, but they have improved the outfield.
Do you think moving everybody around and putting a natural first baseman in the outfield slowed Caglianone's bat development?
Have you listened to this program?
You're pushing an open door.
I mean, I'm not trying to be flippant. I guess I am being flippant, but now I'm just asking legit. Do you listen to the program? Because it's okay if you don't and you just call in. I appreciate any time you give us here with the program. But do you listen, or is the only time you listen is when you're sitting on hold because you want to call in?
I've listened for years and years.
Perfect. So then nobody has lost their mind more about Jack Caglianone running around the outfield than this fat ass you're talking to right now.
Yes.
Well, MJ Melendez, when he started out hot for the Mets, I was like, seriously? Did that hurt him? But then he went back to being MJ Melendez. So.
Yes, exactly. And if you'll recall, and Marty, thank you for the call, buddy, and I always appreciate the call, and I appreciate the time. If you'll recall, Jeff Passan and I going round and round about MJ Melendez playing in the outfield. What the blank are they doing? And he's like, well, you got this slugger. I'm like, trade him then. You're going to trade a 40 home run hitting catcher? Yes, if you're going to keep Salvador Perez, I am. And let me tell you right now, Carter Jensen, to your point, is a left-handed hitting catcher. Blake Mitchell is a left-handed hitting catcher. We are, what? Blake Mitchell development away from saying, where is Carter Jensen going to play? Because my understanding is that Blake Mitchell's the better defender. But then again, at this time of MJ Melendez's career, I was being told that MJ Melendez was a good defensive catcher. He sucked.
Yes.
Okay? So, yes, I get frustration and pessimism. Right? I do. Because I have experienced it. And yes, to your point, it drives me crazy. Just that it's just, and my overall fear is that when they get a good player and he doesn't fit anywhere, they just decide to move him because they're terrified they can't find another good player. The Cardinals trade outfielders all the time. I don't know how many outfielders are running around the outfield right now that started in St. Louis, but they seem to be the one team that just every year I go into fantasy baseball and Doug Stewart's bidding on somebody, and I'm like, I got to check the Cardinals depth chart because I know this is some young Cardinal outfielder, and he's probably going to hit 22 home runs. But for the Royals, they can't do that. They can't develop outfielders. And Jeff Passan brought up a good point that right-handed guys, there aren't many right-handed outfielders anymore because anyone who's right-handed stays in the dirt. And so all you get are the lefties that are like, you're not very good. You're not a first baseman, so get out to the outfield. Yeah. So you got an overabundance of left-handed outfielders.
Play 4 spots.
I get that. That was very revealing when Jeff told us that. One of many things Jeff tells us that we're like, wow, that's really smart. But yeah, I'm terrified that we're going to watch Blake Mitchell finish up with a cup of coffee in Double-A. He's still in High A, I think. Finish up with a cup of coffee in Double-A. Go to Double-A next year. Really hit from the get-go. And then move into Triple-A. And then we're going to still see Luke Maley on this roster because you're going to DH Salvador Perez some days. And nothing wrong with Luke Maley. He's a fine defensive catcher. But, had you moved Salvador Perez for an everyday center fielder that can hit somewhere along the lines, and you had Luke Maley and Carter Jensen, you'd feel just fine. You'd be like, well, we got a good defensive number 2, and we got the stud who can rake up top. Let's go. But you didn't do that. And so when you have Blake Mitchell and Carter Jensen, both big league ready, what are you going to do? Somebody's going to go play the outfield.
Yeah. We already know.
913-810-810. Jeff, you're in the program. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good, man. What's on your mind?
Listening to Curtis trying to pronounce that new guard's name, it reminded me of Harry Carey trying to pronounce names backwards while hammered on heavy Budweiser. So, that was good. That was pretty good. So, my big thing on the Royals is I've always wondered how really dug in John Sherman is at having JJ be the general manager, president of operations, and having that whole lineage, because it just seems like the scouting is not very good. Well, that probably starts with the leadership. The managerial decisions this year have been kind of questionable at times with Q. So it makes you wonder if there's a hot name out there that is in the coaching world that maybe getting released by somebody else, some other team that's been somewhat competitive, or even a GM like Dombrowski or somebody like that that's hanging out in the wind. Would Sherman consider maybe discussing with them about what would you do different than what's been going on with his team? Because I just don't feel like he's so quiet about any of that. Sherman is. I think that makes you wonder when the season's over, how committed is he really to having JJ sticking in the position?
Well,
I have a second question after that.
Okay. Let's back up first of all. You said the scouting's not good. I mean, they have got right now a 17-year-old who's already in the top 100 in baseball prospects. In fact, some rankings, he's 41st. They have an 18-year-old who's in the top 50 in Kendry Churio, who's pitching in high A ball now. He's 18. They have a Blake Mitchell who is in the top 100 of some scouting prospects. Josh Hammond, last year's second of the 2 first-round picks, is a top 100 in some of the different lists I've heard. So I very much object to the idea that they don't scout well.
Maybe what
they just haven't been in place long enough for those guys to make it all the way to the big leagues yet. They're all really young. And what really turned it around was J.J. Piccolo hiring Brian Bridges to be in charge of the scouting and development, or at least the scouting part, the draft and in Latin American signing. And right now he looks like an absolute home run.
Is it development then where things are lacking?
There was a lack of drafting. The problem is that the core of your team right now is still the Dayton Moore era. I mean, just because J.J. Piccolo has been in place for 3 years. You sign a kid who's 16 out of Latin America, he's not going to help you for 5 years. You draft a college kid, maybe 2 years later, like a Jack Caglione. But even Bobby took a few years before he was up, and you see the return on that. And Bobby's a Dayton Moore guy. That's one he got right. And the Orioles helped by taking Adley Rutschman.
Well, that's well taken. And second question I just had here is, and I might have missed it, but is on the Major League Baseball, when it comes to draft picks, at one time they weren't allowed to trade draft picks. Is that still something that is prohibited, or draft picks allowed to be traded now?
They can trade. Is it the sandwich picks, the compensation picks? Because Drew Waters is here because the Royals traded 30-something for him, and I know it was a sandwich pick for them. So I know they can trade those picks, and maybe the competitive balance picks, like you get an extra sandwich pick when you're a small market team.
Yeah, competitive balance picks are the only ones.
That's it. Okay, so the only ones they can trade are the competitive balance picks that they get.
Yeah.
Is that a collective bargaining thing, or
yes.
Is that something that I know it gets brought up about every year that they talk about? Why can't we trade regular draft picks?
Yes, and it's something that better change in this CBA. It's just something that the owners better fight for and get, or even the players fight for and get. If you're especially, I think it's a must. If you're going to put a cap in, you're going to put a floor in, and if you're going to tell a team that they have to spend X amount of dollars, then you have to give them a way to try to, retreat to win later. Right, like if you're, you can't let a team that's small market and has tried really hard, and it's 17 Royals, and you can't, if you had Eric Hosmer, in 17 and it wasn't going well, and you could move him for a first round pick in 19, or a first round pick in 20, or 2 second-round picks and a first over the next couple of years, you do it.
Yeah.
Right? And so you've got to allow those teams that you're going to say, well, they have to spend money. Well, they have to find a way to start restocking the team. And so you have to let them trade picks. So I think it will be I will be crushed if it's not part of the next CBA.
I will be too, because it sounds like there's a lot that needs to be worked on to make everything work for baseball to continue next year. So, Hey, I appreciate it. I love your show. I listen every day, and really keep me awake while I'm driving out in Western Kansas, watching the curve of the earth.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Jeff. Thanks so much. That's a great. That means a lot to us. I really appreciate that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you there at the end. We'll let you get back to looking over the horizon. But that's nice. Appreciate that very much. And thank you, Marty, for the kind words you had earlier. John, Jason, you guys are up next. We'll take a break, come back, more of your phone calls next. You listen to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Should I recognize this?
Easy E.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I do actually. I think we got to pull that down, don't we, before he gets going?
Oh, this is the instrumental.
Okay.
I didn't trust any of the clean versions I saw.
Yeah, no. 913-3810810, the phone number.
Cruising down the street in his 6'4".
Interesting story about Eazy-E in a concert he did here in Kansas City. I'll tell you about.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not for air. 913-3810810. Let's talk to John. You're in the program, John. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Soren, you're talking like a guy that's paying for a season ticket like I am.
Well, I'm not.
I'll tell you what, no, I'm serious. I listen to the Codman Corner. I listen to Jeff Essen. And, you know, what Jeff doesn't get is you are so right about Salvi controlling this team. And I'll tell you what, that goes back to Piccolo. And to me, Piccolo is the problem. It's not Quintero. It's JJ. He's got the same problem Dayton Moore had. He's in love with his prospects. He should be moving these guys. He's not doing it. I don't mind him keeping Waka as much as I mind him not putting Blake Mitchell out there for a trade and putting some of these prospects, okay? They're not developed players. If we could get a developed outfielder for prospects, I would do it in a minute. But no, we're going to trot out there Kyle Isno, and I'm tired of it. And I'm not renewing my season ticket.
Well,
the other problem with JJ, besides loving his prospects, is this moving people around, like the guy before brought up with Whit Merrifield. Whit Merrifield, I had season tickets in. He did not like going from second base to the outfield. You could visibly, where I was sitting, you could visibly tell he did not like playing in the outfield. He wanted to be a second baseman. He did not want to. And Jack Caglione should be playing first base. But because of Salvi, no. We can't play Jack Caglione at first base.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And for you to tell Jeff Passan that and to poo-poo it, hey, he doesn't watch the Royals as closely as you do, obviously. And I have nothing against Jeff Passan, but I listen to you guys all the time. And believe me, you are dead on correct.
Well, thank you. And I will tell Jeff that. And, John, thank you for the call. I appreciate it, buddy. I certainly wouldn't encourage you to give up your tickets because the Royals, that's not what I'm trying to do. But if you are not appreciating the product you're getting, then that is certainly I'd never tell you got to spend it either, okay? I hear what you're saying on the prospects. The one thing I would caution you with is those prospects are something that they can't trade them all, right? They need those young, talented players to help them out. Jason, you got 45 seconds. Wrap us up this hour.
I was with my kids this Friday at the game. We were looking up stadium dimensions, and we were noticing the American League Central had larger stadiums than the National League Central. And the reason I bring that, but also Minnesota was bigger when I looked Friday than it is now. But anyway, do you think that helped? That has anything to do with your friend who bringing up St. Louis has all these outfielders that hit 20 home runs since they played?
Well, it might. That's a fair point, Jason. That's interesting. Thank you. And I hadn't factored that in. I'm
about the stadium sizes and the size of the and you want to bring to the ball. Then
well, I think I got to let you go, Jason. I'm sorry because I'm running out of time. That contributes to it, but overall, they're really good at developing talent. I mean, they're already back.
All right, 35 years ago today, Brett Saberhagen threw the third no-hitter ever at Kauffman Stadium. Who made the last out? Brought to you by Twin Peaks.
I'll also add in Mr. Big Voice Guy, voted the #1 restaurant in Kansas City.
Yes. How about that?
Congratulations, Nick and Jake's. Dine in, carry out, delivery. nickandjakes.com. Great food, honest drink. Isn't that the
yeah.
It's not great food. It's
real food?
Real good food?
It's like real food, honest drink or something.
Google that, Curtis.
Google that.
I am.
I just know it's a real good place to go eat, hang out with friends, and I do it a lot. So go see them at Nick and Jake's. nickandjakes.com. We need a contestant to play the feud. First, we welcome Todd Leabo. Todd! How you doing, Todd?
I'm doing great. Not as great as Curtis is, though. Have you seen today, Curtis, what you did?
I did. By the way, it is real food, honest drink.
Real food, honest drink.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your new house.
I know. How about that? It's the first time.
I hope you're not following Curtis's old account because you'll end up getting hacked.
Yeah. Don't follow it.
It's the first thing that's happened to me.
Huge
since
moment for
April
you.
when I bought a Rolex.
You had a Rolex. And you've had some good crypto.
Curtis's old account, which has a blue check mark on it, and he told Twitter X,
stolen. Yeah.
That it's been stolen. He has no control of it. He can't get into it. They have. Not only did they not
do
fix
anything about it, yeah,
they haven't stopped this company from doing what they're doing. Yeah. My assumption is Elon Musk is getting paid by this company.
Who knows? Yeah, well, he's getting $8 a month at least. He's got a blue check mark. They're not going to get rid of that.
Are you still getting charged for that blue check mark?
No.
Nice house, though. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
What is the
I'll have you guys.
Danny got his account stolen as well, but somehow Danny got his back.
2 other people that got bit through me. Got theirs back.
I quickly unfollowed you.
Jeff Flanagan,
and
our friend Bob Glauber, they both got theirs back.
Yeah,
but not to me.
Where do you keep that Rolex?
In the case next to all of his deeds to his crypto.
Yeah, next to my.
That's the other thing that's always flashing on that thing.
Next to the keys for my Cybertruck that I bought. that was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Was that with this crypto he bought a Cybertruck?
Like anyone who knows me would think, I'm pretty sure that I'm the last guy that would buy a Cybertruck with my crypto winnings.
There are 9 levels why that would never happen.
Yes. That's the funniest. I'm the last person that would be.
So what's your new Twitter that's real?
KL Siebold.
KL Siebold.
Yes.
If you're following Curtis and you think he just bought a house, unfollow.
SEABOLDT.
Traditional spelling.
D as in dog, T.
And find the real Kurt.
Yeah.
Every time I post something like this, somebody, in fact, Mayday, who follows me and occasionally get frank opinions, he's like, took my attempt of reporting X about your fake account that is out there. If I'm wrong, congrats on the major house you bought. But the people try. It's like, hey, I'm trying to help you out. I appreciate it, Mayday, but.
All right, let's play the feud.
At this point.
We have a contestant. That contestant has a name. His name is Brian. He joins us in the program right now. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you doing?
Doing very good. You got $25, Nick and Jake's just for playing, but if you choose a good partner and you win the feud, we'll up that to $40 at Nick and Jake's. Who are you going to play with, Brian?
I'd like to play with you, Saran.
There it is. It's going to be me and Brian kicking your ass from one side of the studio to the other.
All the way across.
What's the order you two are going in so Brian can pick his poison?
Curtis, you go first.
Yeah, I went first last time.
So who's going first?
And you're going first. I went first last time. You go first.
Yeah.
Curtis is going first. Okay, and then Leabo. So do you want to go first up against Curtis or second up against Todd?
First up against Curtis.
There you go. Wise decision, Brian. The human rain delay, Curtis Siebold, when it comes to the buzzer.
But he's got a brand new house. He's feeling it today.
He does.
I know. I got to return the housewarming gift I got him.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
All right, we're going to go Brian against Curtis and me against Leabo.
All right, Brian, let's test your buzzer.
I don't forgot what I'm supposed to say. Just say,
your name,
Just say Brian.
Yeah. You can say Big Tiger.
Yeah, Brian, there was. Just make sure, because you're going first. You want to get in as quick as you think you got an answer.
All right, give me Brian and give me Curtis. 7 answers on the board. Name me an NFL player most likely to be drafted in the first round of your fantasy football draft.
Brian.
Curtis.
I'm going to say Bijan Robinson.
Bijan, number 1.
All right, good. We play this?
Might as well.
How many you got?
7. Now 6.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Gibbs, number 3.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, number 2.
Now, this is where I'm not good at this stuff. How about Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson, number 7.
Yeah, boy, that just barely hung in there.
Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, number 6. Looking for 4 and 5.
I think maybe some Chiefs fans. Ken Walker. Okay.
Reg 1.
Taking a chance.
James Cook. Damn.
You're right, 2. He should have been on there.
I think we are toast.
Are you talking bad about your voters?
I am.
Okay. How about I mean, I'll try Lamar because he runs for touchdowns too.
Don't draft quarterbacks in the first round, Todd. Strike 3.
Depends on what kind of league you're in.
Okay, so here's what I've got written down, Brian. I have Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Saquon Barkley, but don't draft quarterbacks in the first round.
He just
is a
took 2 of them
Freudian
off
slip,
there.
I think, right there.
Or not Freudian. He just tries to feed.
Josh Allen would be the first quarterback, I think, to go. So he is. I think he's a better answer than Lamar Jackson. But Pat, only because we're here in Kansas City. Kenneth Walker would be the other guy, but Saquon was great 2 years ago.
I was thinking Puka or Jahmyr Gibbs. Or did they say Jahmyr Gibbs?
They did say Gibbs, but Puka Nacua is not bad. I mean, he is. I just did a Yahoo League with some families over the weekend, and their rankings were Yahoo's was, I think, was Gibbs, Bijan, Chase, Puka. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rice right behind there.
Rashi Rice?
Yeah,
exactly. You nailed it. I was like, what Rice am I forgetting? Wait a minute. Todd's just being an ass.
Oh.
I would lean towards Saquon Barkley, but are we missing a big wideout that had a monster year?
That's the only one I could think of. What about the other guy from Detroit? St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was 5th or 6th on this list, so that's not awful. I'm trying to think. Am I missing somebody? Maybe Houston.
I should probably start
Dallas.
studying this.
CeeDee Lamb has been hurt. Jordan Love, no, and is not as a rookie.
Well, now he's putting you on a clock.
I lean towards Barkley, but I'll leave it to you.
Let's go Saquon.
Oh! Did not get it. That's going to be 85 points to Curtis and Todd. The ones that you missed.
Corinne.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The ones you missed. Number 4, Puka.
Oh!
Number 5, JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
A couple of wideouts. Damn it. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm sorry. Well, why is Christian McCaffrey there? He's hurt even more than Saquon Barkley.
They don't know what year it is.
And he was healthy last year, which means no shot.
For sure.
He's healthy this year. Because I guarantee you in the Boger League, I'm going to have Christian McCaffrey staring me in the face.
Right
I
there.
took him 1-1 2 years ago. Guy didn't play for 11 weeks. Killed me.
Bad pick.
All right, give me
Shut your hole.
Give me Todd and give me Seren. 7 answers on the board. Name me a great country music
Leabo,
artist.
Petro.
Todd.
Oh gosh, Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash, number 1.
Oh,
Wow.
I
Nice.
hope you like you some country, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay,
good.
Good.
I'll say Dolly Parton.
Number 2.
Number 2. We're getting some old people. Willie Nelson.
Number 3.
Oh, wow.
Garth Brooks.
Number 4.
I think we're gonna have to get. I'm gonna try an older one. George Strait.
Number 6.
Let's go.
Wow. Shania Twain.
Strike 1.
Stupid ass.
So there's 2 left. 1 left.
There's 2 left.
2 left. We're
5 and
missing
7.
5 and 7. I mean, I don't know if they're going to keep going. Chris Stapleton. Oh, wow. Okay.
Strike 2.
Petro's got 10 names written down.
I have. Is that? Oh, there's still.
That's
strike 2.
By the way, I keep getting tweets from people that Curtis and I have been getting pencil whipped on the strikes on this. Apparently, you got 4 strikes last week. We only got 2 a couple weeks ago. The listeners listen to this stuff. They're out there scoring.
Knock off your crap.
I'm just telling you.
You are. You know what?
I'm telling you.
You have this reputation of being this swell guy, but you're really just this conniving little weasel.
Maybe so. We have 2 strikes. Curtis is going to hit one here.
I'm going to choose the guy who's been here 500 times. Kenny Chesney.
cannot believe he didn't make it. Strike 3.
I mean, I can't. He definitely made it in the one arrowhead drive poll.
Yeah.
I mean, they love him. Some Kenny Chesney. I have Toby Keith written down. Is he a big deal?
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Not anymore.
Okay, Kenny Rogers.
I was thinking that. I thought about Waylon. That's a lot of people like to think they're hip by saying they're big Waylon Jennings fans, even though they probably couldn't name more than 2 songs.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I gave you a couple names, and I am not putting my fingerprints anywhere near this answer. I'm not qualified.
You mad because you messed this up last on the football? You thought
Shut
you
your
knew about?
hole, Todd. I got a few country songs on the phone. The ones my daughter
Sing some.
My daughter's. I don't. They just come up. I just
you
hit
know the
shuffle.
song. You sing them,
and it comes up, and I listen.
We're giving you an opportunity to sing.
Made
You're
my
going
daughter.
on
I said I'm sick of the
vacation.
songs on my
Sing.
phone. You girls have to start giving me songs to put on the phone. And my one daughter loves her some country. So
To me, the greatest country singer of all time is George Jones. So I'm going to go George Jones.
Oh.
Didn't make it.
Did we get like
you better not hold
Morgan
them.
Wallen on this now?
No.
You better not fold them.
It's over, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be 85 over to Todd and Curtis again. The ones you missed, number 5, Luke Combs.
Oh, he's coming to Arrowhead next year.
Number 7, Alan Jackson.
Alan
Wow, I thought
Jackson.
about Alan Jackson. I thought, nah.
Really?
Is that the one that's
Well.
down by the Chattahoochee?
I don't know the
Yeah.
Alan Jackson song. Is it? Is that
How
one?
about that? That's all I want to do is show that maybe I know a little
You know
something. Of
something.
music.
You know Luke Combs.
By the way, didn't I tell you I hate it
rock
when the
the people.
music categories come up and here you go ahead and throw a music category at us?
Yeah, get ready. Here comes another.
When I
You
used
better
to-
not be.
Before
We're
Pete,
down 2 categories.
before Pete Sweeney got big fancy and went to the Star and got up to the top row of the press box, when he used to sit down there by us, and Luke Combs was coming to Arrowhead a few years ago, and they would always have a commercial in the stadium, and I always every week lean over to Pete and go, "What's your favorite Luke Combs song?"
Long Island boy. You know,
and he
country
never really
music's
had an
huge
answer.
in Long Island.
yeah.
Never had an answer for me.
All right, we're back to Curtis and Brian.
Here we go.
7 answers on the board. Give me a great athlete nickname.
Brian.
Brian.
He stuttered his way
What were
there
you gonna say,
and
Brian?
still beat you to the punch. That's awful.
It is.
Brian, what you got?
Steve Bye-Bye Balboni.
Good try. Didn't make it.
Oh my gosh.
Don't be looking over at him.
Babe Ruth. That's a nickname, but wasn't his name.
How'd you phrase the question?
A excellent or a great athlete nickname. Who's got a great nickname?
Is it the great enhancing
these
athlete
athletes.
or nickname?
That's up to
Just a great
voter.
nickname.
Great athlete nickname. Air Jordan.
Number 1.
All right, we got to play, right?
Yeah, I think, we got it.
Okay, you're up then.
How about Magic Johnson?
There you go.
Magic Johnson, number 4.
That is a great one. Man, Babe wasn't bad, Curtis. I don't know how that one wasn't there.
Too far back.
Dr. J. Bite my.
I had that
Make it
written
strike
down.
1.
Is it up for me?
Yes, sir.
How about Primetime?
There you go.
Eon, primetime, number 5.
How about King James?
Are you?
Nobody likes
Wow.
him. They don't like him.
Okay.
He's unlikable.
LeBron hate. A little less likable than Jordan.
How about the great one, Gretzky?
There you go. Who are these jackasses? Who did you poll? Did you go to a knitting club or
I don't
something?
have a lot of hockey
That's
fans
3
on my
strikes.
Twitter.
Big unit.
Big
Big hurt.
I mean, Kansas City, Nigeria Nightmare.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Big hurt. Round mound to rebound. Country breakfast around here. I was trying to get a little local.
Is that a country song? I was trying to get a little local.
Yeah. Little local with my
by Alan-
country breakfast.
It's by
Billy Butler.
yeah, I was trying to think one of those guys by George
What do you like,
Jones.
Curtis? I'm down with whatever you want. I gave you a couple locals in Nigerian Nightmare and Country Breakfast. I did always like Round Mound to Rebound. The Mailman, Carl Malone's another good one, but he's
Are we
going to
let him just think for an hour and just
Big
keep
unit.
rattling off?
I mean, they could
names?
just give us
he can put
extra
us on the
strikes,
clock
I
at any
guess.
time. I don't know. We're just trying to get to the finish line here. Curtis,
First of all,
pick it.
you're not that gullible that just because this fool says it, that makes it a fact.
No, I just know that happened. I had to something about you complaining about the length of time it takes for an answer. I was like, I
mean,
can't let that
it was so
just
bad
sit.
today that Kyle, who's your lackey, put you on the clock.
It wasn't even bad. Kyle's about to get slapped for throwing the clock on us that fast.
There we go.
Oh, I got the clock. Curtis, say something.
I'll
Settle down,
say
Does the clock thing not work?
big
now?
unit. Big unit.
Big unit. Ah,
well.
What is that, about 98 to us?
Make it here. Let me count it up. That's 50.
50.
That would have gotten us over the line, but oh well.
What didn't we get?
What you did not get. Number 2.
Iron Mike Tyson.
The Fridge.
Oh, that's a good one.
Number 3. Country Breakfast.
No. yes. I
Number
love
6.
it.
Round Mound.
No,
Rebound.
I love that.
7. Megatron.
No, Megatron, that's not bad.
I love it when you have the right answer, but you don't take it, Todd. It gives me a warm feeling.
We're trying to let Brian have a chance
up?
to get an extra $15.
Like, remember when you fell down and skinned your knee the other day and I cheered?
Well, some people live on the pain of others. I mean, that's sustainable.
Schadenfreude.
Sustained. Yep. Well done.
All right, give me Todd. Give me Seren. 7 answers on the board. Name your favorite type of postseason. Seren.
NCAA tournament.
March Madness. Number 1.
All right. We're going to play, right?
That's awful.
Yeah.
This is the 300 points.
Yes,
Shut up.
absolutely.
Shut up.
Just keep naming.
You're up, Brian.
The Stanley Cup playoff.
Number 4.
NFL.
Number 2.
Name a direction.
Yeah. Major League Baseball playoffs. Baseball playoffs.
Number 3.
How many are there?
There's 3 left.
Oh, might be a strike somewhere.
Well, give me the
Ain't gonna be
college
3.
football playoffs.
Number 5.
The NBA playoffs.
Number 6.
There's one more.
One more.
There might be a strikeout here.
All right, so we don't have any strikes, right?
0 strikes.
No.
And how'd you phrase the question, and what are the answers?
Name
we
your
got so
favorite type of postseason. What you have so far: March Madness, the NFL, the Major League Baseball, Stanley Cup, college football playoff, NBA.
Can we discuss, or is it up to?
No, Brian.
But
come on.
I'm going to have 2 shots at it, and you're going to have 1.
Okay.
Well, just because it's here, I guess I got to exhaust the MLS playoffs.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
The full 100.
The full money. Don't call it a comeback, Todd.
I'm rooting for Brian.
Thank you, sir. Oh, is it? Do I still have one left?
Oh yeah.
No,
We
got
You
it.
guys won.
We closed it out. We got that
You
one.
didn't win the whole thing.
No,
God.
but we're
It's 150 to-
we're
so-
poised. We're poised to do it now because Brian's going to
We're on the
buzz in,
doorstep.
and we'll run the table again.
Curtis wins this face-off easy.
I got $50.
I'm not
Brian.
betting. I'm not betting on Curtis.
Give me Curtis. Give me Brian. 7 answers on the board. Name a player in the 2005 Royals opening day lineup.
Curtis.
Curtis.
Pay him.
He didn't take the bet.
Oh, damn it. I'm going to say that would be. Oh, boy. Mike Sweeney.
Number 1.
I'm done.
You were doing post-game shows. You should know all these.
They all. Let me tell you something. That whole era.
Are we playing this? Curtis is
blends
writing
together.
things down. That's
Yeah,
good.
let's-
So, okay.
let's
2005. All right. 2000 was. This could be too late. Renelvis Hernandez.
Okay. Strike 1.
Angel Baroa.
Yes, number 4.
Oh my God, we are in trouble.
2005.
I hope you're Googling like a mother right now.
Matt Stairs.
Number 3.
That's the one. That's the next. I just written it down.
Yoni Book.
He said John Buck, by the way.
Yeah, no love for John Buck.
Was it John?
Well, we're not hearing you.
Yes, number 6.
Okay.
So that's one
I had
strike.
no idea what he said.
Yeah.
I said Yoni Book. That's what.
That's just Tony Payne would call it. John Buck. My Wood. Now I'm not saying Mike.
So you only got 1 strike.
Okay, so Mark Tian.
No, it's not your fault. It's this dumbass's fault.
Martian, yes, number 5.
Do we actually have a strike or not? We have no strike.
You've 1 strike.
Who'd we strike on? Mine. I said, yeah, Renelvis Hernandez.
Yeah.
You said lineup.
No, opening their roster.
No, I said lineup.
Oh, you said lineup.
Oh,
okay. Oh, okay.
So does that mean no pitchers?
Yes.
Okay.
Not even a starting pitcher?
So I'm just looking for number 2 and number 7.
And please, I apologize. Can you say what we've said?
Number 1, Mike Sweeney. Number 3, Matt Stairs. Number 4, Angel Baroa. Number 5, Mark Tian. Number 6, Yoni Buck.
Joe Randa.
Strike 2.
Okay, so I'm just really confusing my years here.
How could you not? They were all the same then.
They're all just so very similar.
I mean, do you know how many nights? Let me tell you what pain is. Pain is a storm rolling into the 8th inning of the Royals barreling towards loss number 87
With
in July.
No pitch clock.
And no pitch clock, and we're waiting it out because they're flying out the next day. Like, that is misery. But the good news is, at least the play-by-play team will hold it for about 5 seconds. Yeah. As soon as Trevor got over the tarp, they were throwing it to us.
How about? I'm trying to think of those really good lineups they had. I'm getting confused on my times here, but I'm going to say this: David DeJesus. Okay,
DeJesus, number 2.
The Jesus. Later immortalized in the
7th
movie.
and final answer.
You got
The
this
Big
easy,
Lebowski.
Curtis.
I don't got this.
You got it, big boy.
Think back.
You got it.
Lineup. I'm just going around the line.
Whatever you say it in English so Kyle.
Terrence Long.
Could have been on the
Is that
team.
3?
There's a pretty good chance he was on the team.
I have 3 names, Brian.
I've got 2.
Oh, God. You guys have a plethora.
I'm going to say,
I don't know.
Ow, who did that?
Emil Brown?
That's 1.
I love a drop. That is great
all the
stuff.
time, or
I'm
St. John does.
I'm
Anyway.
rooting for Brian to be right.
Okay.
Or Matt Stairs. Those are
Okay,
they
Stairs
say
was
Matt.
answered. The other ones that I have, and I don't remember what years these guys were on them. I know Ken Harvey was on the 03 team, so I think he might have still been there at 05. I was trying to think who was playing first base. And so Ken Harvey came to mind. I have Mark Grudzelanek. I don't remember what years he was here.
I had him in my head. I'm like, I don't know what years.
I don't know what year for him. And I have Jose Guillen, because I know Mark Tian told a great story on our Kaufman Corner podcast about Jose Guillen up ranting and raving at everybody, and Zach standing up and going, "Are we really going to sit here and listen to this?"
I still have. I found earlier this summer. I think I found like 2 minutes of Jose Guillen when he called everybody babies. Or whatever. It was good.
So
I don't know
what year was it.
I don't know.
So we've got Emil Brown, Mark Grudzelanek, Jose Guillen, and Ken Harvey to choose from, and it's on you, Brian.
I'm going to go with, ow, who did that? Emil Brown.
Oh! That might have been could have been a little later. I don't know.
I don't remember when
That's
that was.
95.
95. Count it up.
Yeah,
Soren, see what we got.
Shut up. Nobody likes
No,
you.
count it. See what it means. I have a hard time counting.
265, you
that's
fool.
good number.
265. What was it? Was there only one left?
Yeah, one left. He had 31 PAs in 2005. He was in the opening day lineup. Calvin Pickering.
You have a jersey.
Oh my God! I have a Game 1 Calvin Pickering jersey, which is one of the best and worst things in my life.
It's beautiful.
One,
it's beautiful.
I love having obscure player jerseys. That's the best part. The worst part, it fits.
Yeah.
And he was like 6'6", 310.
Monstrous human being.
Big dude.
God, Calvin Pickering
is a great answer.
They did that because they know I have a Calvin Pickering jersey. That's why they did it. Was he even really on the team? He was? 31 plate appearances?
PAs.
That's not a bad one to lose
God.
on. And I did say lose.
Ah, well.
And I was trying to think who was at first base. Calvin Pickering.
Ken Harvey had to
I was thinking
put out
Matt
past
Stairs,
him.
but they already said him when you said, first
He
base.
probably
so.
played right that day.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, this is heartbreaking.
Cal Pickering in his 485 OPS.
OPS 485.
148, 226.
Shane just said,
259.
how did you not get Calvin Pickering?
Does Shane want a pen in his neck?
The previous year in 04.
By the way, you should see
838.
the look he just gave me as he went around the corner.
He didn't say that.
You idiot. You moron.
04, he was 838 and
Oh, wow.
122 at bats.
I know.
7 bombs.
That's why they gave him a lifetime contract.
He just needed more chances.
Calvin Pickering Day. He gets $100 this day every year.
They list him at 6'5", 283.
Glasses were extremely generous.
6'5", 283. Should have been running around the outfield.
6'5", what?
283.
He would be on this team.
Yeah, no kidding.
I didn't mean to rile you back up. Just relax. Relax. It's okay.
Brian, I'm sorry, but you still got a $25 gift card, and you were a tremendous player. I let you down. I apologize.
And no worries. Love the show, guys.
All right, thanks for being a part of it, Brian. We appreciate it. There goes Brian.
When
He's
you
going
go
to Nick
to
and
sleep
Jake's
tonight, will you be thinking more about the Puka Nakua or the Calvin Pickering?
I'm on a plane to Vegas tomorrow. I will be thinking of nothing of this place.
We'll
Nothing.
bring Calvin
Not
Pickering
one thing.
up
In
next
fact,
week.
in about 15 minutes,
It's over.
like I will check out before Grunhard even gets in here.
Looking forward to that 4 o'clock hour. Come on, Grunny. Bring
Yeah.
it.
The 5 o'clock, no shot. I don't even know who we have at 5.
Curtis going to bring it.
Who do we have at 5? Who's at 5?
I was on the phone.
Oh.
John Talty, CBS.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Huh?
Sounds
Sounds like Kyle's checked out.
I mean, if that was intentional, it
I
would
was
have
on
been
the phone. I didn't hear what he said.
If that was intentional, it would have been the greatest comic timing ever.
That's why you know it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, I know.
He's not going to hit that kind of home run. What? It's a singles hitter over there.
He's
Well, I'm
Cal
looking at a-
Pickering. He's betting.
looking at a
Oh, he
picture
has the
of-
45.
Of Calvin Pickering, it
Today?
was. Man, that was a huge dude.
He was giant.
Yeah.
It's
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. The jersey
I mean,
fits.
it doesn't even compete. You look at it, you're like, my eyes can't accept what I'm seeing.
You stand him next to Aaron Judge.
It's one of those sleeveless ones.
Yeah,
It's got the
vest.
Velcro.
Oh, yeah. So
the-
cool.
You know where the
Seen you
where
wear
they
it.
where they properly
Lined it
don't
up.
split the letter in half.
Yeah.
Like whatever drunken fool or non-baseball guy designed the current
And it's
uniform.
cool. 'Cause it's the road gray with the drop shadow. Very
It's
cool.
a good looking uniform.
Yeah. I like those.
Bust that
uniforms.
out. Take it. Wear it in here next week.
I wear it when I go out on the road and watch them play.
There you go.
You wear that thing with pride, man. Here at home, I got a sweet alternative Vinny Pascantino.
Do you wear an undershirt or just go?
No,
Somewhere in my
I like to go. What was it? Jorge Rojas.
Yeah.
Who the Rojas? No, that freaks me out. I wear an undershirt under an undershirt.
I do. Long sleeve shirts and short sleeve shirts and a long
Yeah,
sleeve
I wear an
shirts.
undershirt under a t-shirt. I am definitely wearing it in those scratchy ass polyester.
somewhere in my
I just got the heebie-jeebies thinking about putting a shirt like that on.
I know.
somewhere in my box of photos, someplace in the pre-digital era, I've got a picture of all of us as a group walking to the train to go to the Cardinals game in St. Louis in like 2006.
I don't think we were going to a train. I think we were just walking into the ballpark.
I think this is where we actually parked. I think we were
took the
taking
little
something
train
anyway.
from Union Station. You
And
get
I'm
the
behind
bus.
everyone, and you all are walking. It's Doug and Renee
Yeah.
was there with us. And
We faked it. It's
yeah.
Doug and I
And-
acting like we're walking, and I've got the wrong hand moving forward as if you're
Yeah.
walking.
And you've got the Pickering jersey
Yeah.
on. It's a great.
And everyone's
shot.
like, "Look, this is Cal Pickering's brother."
Spitting image.
Cow.
He was from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
A Bahamian black guy and me
Yeah.
separated at birth.
He made it on the show today, didn't he?
He did.
He did.
He did. I didn't mind that signing. Big old home run, home run or nothing, and he'd
Power.
take a walk.
Yeah.
He
Not
would
that,
take a
not
walk.
that year.
Oh, not
He's no
that.
best at 45.
Not
Of course,
that
he only
second
batted
year.
140. He probably did get a
Yeah.
few walks.
Not that second year, but the first year, man, that was a star.
Let's see.
He was a
Second
star.
year, he had 3 walks and 14 Ks.
By the way, you know how much I paid for that thing? Like, how long have I had that thing? 15, 20 years?
20 years.
When did he play here?
2005. That was the
Yeah,
question.
so I
20 years.
I think I got it, but I got it in like 7 or 8. He'd
Okay.
been gone for a while. And I'm like, oh, how much
Got
is
it
this?
cheap.
They go, $200.
Oh,
I go,
was at the Royals
I go,
shop thing. in the
rotten
stadium,
hell.
isn't it? Yeah.
No chance. $200. No one is ever buying this thing. The guy sucked. They don't even have this
They go
uniform
180,
anymore.
and you go, so
How about I give you like $50 for it? It's $200. I paid it. And the only thing that makes it worth it is like we get mileage off talking about it.
Yes.
That's it.
well worth it?
But it was without a doubt the dumbest purchase of my life.
So you did pay the full 200?
I paid the full 200. I had no choice. They weren't going to. I was mad. Like, you're joking.
They don't bargain. In
No
an authentic
one
shop.
is going to buy this but me. I'm the only
And they
one
said-
dumb enough. Like, see all these over here? They're not buying any of these either. Go give them to homeless people.
They say, we're holding out for you.
That is the only way they're ever going to get warned, but I will wear this one.
You guys are wrong, and then you proved them right.
And I gave him $200.
Sucker born every minute.
Stupid ass. Here it is. Awful. Awful.
Cal Pickering.
We'll get some Leabo sounds next here in the program.
The program with Soren Petro.
Oh, I hear the fat kid running. I bet it's hilarious.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, listen up. It's hot. You're getting outside and you try to work out or do something, and you're like, oh, geez, I just don't have any energy. Must be the heat. Maybe it's not the heat, Did you know that basically 1 in 4 men from 35 to 50 has low testosterone? And it happens little by little over time, so sometimes you don't even realize it, right? Low levels of energy, low sex drive, low motivation, mood. You can be a moody little grump. Is your wife or girlfriend telling you, why are you such a grump all the time? Listen, it could be low testosterone. Low T drains your energy and motivation. You don't have the energy to do the things you love, like maybe working out. You go to the gym, can't lift like you used to, can't do as many reps. What do you bench? Is that down? Could be low testosterone, people. Get the answers you need this summer for free. At Low T Center, you can book a free testosterone test and get a consultation from licensed providers that specialize in testosterone replacement therapy. You can explore a range of peptides as well. Even get a jump on getting in shape with the GLP-1s and medical weight loss protocols. They handle that as well. Low T Center has been the #1 name in TRT since 2009 for a reason. So go find out. Get the answers you want. Don't wonder whether or not it's just a case of, maybe a little bit of heat, or maybe it's you, my friend. Get back to being the best version of yourself. Feel like yourself again. Visit fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com and schedule your free testosterone test today. That's fixmylowt.com.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event.
Get up to 0% on select 2026 Subaru models for up to 72 months.
And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City.
0% event and a lifetime warranty. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru. The Subaru A Lot to Love event.
VIN number 4S4SLD L61T3038472. Based on 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Hey, it's Dick Ray. When your drain stops, your whole day stops. Then, no matter how many
Yes, Todd Leabo brought to you by our friends at Family Leisure. They're at K10 and Ridgeview. We were just talking about Family Leisure during the break, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They do an unbelievable job. It's where family and fun come together.
Right there together.
Whether you want a foosball table, poker table, maybe a shuffleboard as we're thinking about the fall rolling around. Maybe you need some theater seating to watch your games. Maybe you need a pool, hot tub, spa, patio furniture. That is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Go over to Family Leisure. You can save even more. They've got a big sale going on right now. But if you mention Heard It on A10, Heard It on the program, you get an even bigger discount. Maybe you want a trampoline for the kids to jump around on. We got our trampoline there. Hours of fun. Hours of fun. I'm going to tell you, it helped get through the pandemic.
Get some altitude.
Yes, and in ours, we got a pretty level, level enough. It's not like
the
dangerous,
yard.
but my daughter was trying to figure out how to do a flip, and I'm like, stop going uphill.
Go downhill.
Go downhill.
Makes it
And
easier.
That helped her learn to do a flip.
Do a flip.
How about that? There you go.
Downhill.
Landing point is lower.
Yeah, there you have it. Gorilla basketball goals, maybe a grill. Go get it at Family Leisure. They're at K10 and Ridgeview. Online at familyleisure.com. Dennis, DJ, they're great. Great locally owned and operated company for more than a quarter century. Todd, what are we going to hear today? Who are we going to hear from?
Fast Friday out at Wednesday afternoon at Arrowhead because they play their
It
final
really
preseason
wasn't
game.
a Fast Friday if
Wasn't
they
that
had
fast.
more than Reed.
But sometimes they will give us someone at the podium on a Friday, and this is really not that fast
They
because he
usually
talks for
have
like
lately,
6
haven't
minutes.
they?
Sometimes it can be, minute 40 on a real fast
Sometimes
Friday.
they throw Kelsey in there.
Yeah,
on Friday.
that's when they kind of sneak him in on the Friday or something like that. But we had a chance to talk to Andy Reid and Jaden Hicks, who's had a really nice preseason. I want to play a soundbite for you with Andy Reid because we were talking to the break about Josh Simmons as well. Josh Simmons has had a back issue and has not been out there, and he's not going to play in this game. Here is what Andy Reid said when asked what's going on with Josh Simmons.
Yeah, just getting his back checked out. So I mean, that's the main thing. He was doing good when he was in there. He's got the back. So like any other injury, I mean, we got to make sure see if it's right or what's wrong with it.
There wasn't. You can't really pester Andy about what's going on with an injury thing very much, but he's getting it checked out. He didn't say he's going to a
We got to
specialist.
get it figured out, he said.
And then you got to get it
What's
figured
wrong
out
with it?
and what's wrong with it. So it doesn't sound
Good.
Doesn't sound good.
I don't think it sounds good. And couple that with they just traded for a guy who apparently can play tackle and guard. I think they need some depth because I think they're a little bit concerned about a lot of things on the line. Part of it, can some of these guys play well enough? And the other part of it is, can some of these guys play because they're hurt? So I don't think I wasn't buoyed with confidence on that answer. Sometimes when he'll sit there and tell you something, yeah, it's going to be all right. He's not saying, oh, it's no big deal. We'll be fine on this one.
Of players you can't afford to lose, Patrick Mahomes would be number one.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Josh Simmons?
Oh, he's pretty close, top 5, I think.
I think he's
Might
two.
be 2, yeah.
But I think they are planning on Kenneth Walker a lot, so I might put him 2 this year. But you're right. I mean,
I've seen Emmett Johnson play.
Yeah. And
I think DeMarcado's got a little something. I think, I think Josh Simmons is 2.
I think I'd rather watch Mahomes hand off to Johnson and DeMarcado behind Simmons than hand off to Kenneth Walker behind
Jalen Moore or the guy that just got from the Giants.
Yeah.
Or Khalil
thank
Benson. Or
I mean, 7th round picks have almost no value to general managers now.
Yeah.
And so you basically got a guy that's like, listen, we don't want to hassle with his agent trying to make sure he signs with us as opposed to someone else. So we'll go ahead and give you a 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll take it.
So, I mean, hopefully there's a long time to go before the first game. Okay, so they're not playing a game.
Does
next
Josh
week.
Simmons play week 1?
You're asking me right now? I would call that doubtful. So I'll say no.
With what I heard right there, I'm like, what are we talking, surgery? And
you got to figure it out.
Year?
And it's not like this happened yesterday. He has not practiced for a while. So I did not get a lot of confidence out of that, but thought we'd play that there. Now,
got quite the pick me up there, Todd. Thanks.
Well, let's pick you up even more.
Hey, look, there's a puppy. You want to go kick it?
So, we know Mahomes isn't going to play in any of these preseason games. We pretty much had that figured out before. But Chris Oladokun is now in the concussion protocol. So Andy was going to play Nussmeier and Oladokin for the whole game and give Justin Fields the day off. Well, now, Garrett, it's on you. You may just get to play the whole game.
The young kid's going to go. Nuss is going to go. He'll start the game. Those two are going to split the game. It has nothing to do with Justin. This was all in advance, so don't make anything of that.
Will Garrett play the entire game, or?
There's a chance. Yeah. I mean, Justin, I told him just keep it loose there, But if not, then Garrett, I'm sure they all would love to play a full game, and now he has a chance, so potentially.
So Fields will be dressed for sure, and if something happens, you better go in there. Now, here's the interesting part. We've all watched Patrick Mahomes warm up and dress and do all the things you're supposed to do to be ready to play a football game, whereas many times quarterbacks don't even go to the game. They don't get on the plane. They'll be in street clothes on the sideline. If he's not supposed to play in any preseason games, I would almost just as soon have Patrick Mahomes in street clothes on Friday in case, two guys get hurt. But if things go well, Nussmeier will just get to play the entire game, which I'd like to see him play the whole game and see what he's got. Now, because I think we're all in agreement here that Chris Oladokin's days are numbered. Sunday night he's getting cut. Maybe they'll go through the practice squad. I don't know why you need to keep 4 guys on the roster as a practice squad. I would keep another position than a quarterback if you're going to have these guys there. But they don't need 4 quarterbacks, in my opinion. But Nussmeier's going to get to play the whole game.
Do they need 8 wideouts?
On the regular roster? Or
did they go with 8 last year?
I keep seeing people have
or maybe it was
6.
8 the year before and 7 last year.
I mean, and listen, Xavier Worthy hasn't done anything in the preseason. Rashee Rice hasn't done anything in the preseason. Apparently, they're healthy enough. I don't know. I'm going to be curious, obviously, to see how they end up.
This is Sam McDowell's.
If you keep 3 quarterbacks, that's a wide receiver you don't keep, or a tight end you don't keep, or a defensive back you don't keep, or an offensive lineman you don't keep, right?
You no doubt have heard this is Sam's pet peeve about them. Like, why are you keeping these wide receivers? Look it up, Curtis, how many wideouts they have. When you go to the old roster, the old depth chart, you know what I'm talking about, where to find it on that date. Because Sam brought this up. I threw it in Sam's face. We weren't even talking about it. And I'm like, oh, you got to keep 8 wideouts, right, Sam? And, you see his face just like cringe and everything. He said, let's take a look at how those extra wideouts did. The ones that he said
that you just keep on the roster.
He said the problem is, and he phrased it really well. He said the problem is you have a tight battle, and you think, well, we got to keep them both.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, neither one are any good.
Yeah, you got 2 of them,
right? But you're like, oh my God, it's so close between these 2.
14 catches for the year or something.
Yeah, he's like, you're like, okay. So he said, well, let's take a look at what those later, the depth piece wide receivers did. So here you go. You ready? Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Tyquan Thornton, Juju Smith-Schuster, the top 5.
Right.
The other wideouts that were kept, Nico Remigio had 1 catch for 21 yards.
Jalen Royals had 2 catches.
Jalen Royals had 2 for 4.
Yeah.
And here ended the list. Oh, and Jason Brownlee they kept, who had 0 catches.
None catches.
Yeah, they kept 7.
They kept 7?
Yeah.
Remigio, Juju,
and then someone
Worthy,
got hurt,
Thornton,
to add somebody.
Brown,
right?
Royals, and Brownlee.
Royals wasn't even dressing.
Wait, give it to me again.
Remigio, Juju, Worthy, Thornton, Hollywood, Royals, Brownlee.
Because Rice was suspended to start the year.
Okay, yeah. So it was Remigio, Royals, and Brownlee, who combined for
3 catches.
3 catches for 25 yards.
Yeah.
And one of them came up. 21 of it came on 1 catch.
Yeah.
By Nico Remigio.
Because Jalen Royals, I remember he had 2 for 4. That's what he had. And that was the very last game of the year, I think, maybe.
I mean, why bother?
They keep people. I mean, a lot of the things I see, I think Pete's last rosters had 6. And Remigio is one of them. And he's the returner kind of guy, right?
I 6 with Remigio is what I did. We did a 53 on the podcast last week, and I had Remigio as the 6th, but I did not have a 7.
Did you keep?
4? I didn't have Andrew Armstrong making it. Andrew Armstrong is no different than, they kept Brownlee last year because, we might lose him. Yeah. Guess what? He's there again this year. And
did you have 4 running backs?
I did.
Yeah. And
I kept
three quarterbacks.
Brenningstool. I kept a fourth tight end.
Fourth tight end.
With Brenningstool over a seventh wideout.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense to me. The wideouts don't do anything. Now, the tight ends may not get catches either, but they...
The tight ends, Brenningstool, I don't know how much special teams he's going to play. He's awfully thin.
Yeah. Could be
for a tight end.
Edge on the field goal block or something.
But this is not a year where it's like, oh, my God, we're going to be putting good players on the street.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is more likely that they're going to be grabbing a couple players off the street than having 8 of their guys picked up.
Bad sign.
You think? Let's take a break. One more with Todd. Todd Leabo's in. He's a big deal. That's why he's brought to you by our friends at Family Leisure. They're a big deal. It's where family and fun come together. Go see them if you are looking for some patio furniture to be able to get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather that's coming this fall. Then get to Family Leisure. Go to familyleisure.com to find them online or see them in person. They're at K10 and Ridgeview. Mention 810, save even more. Big Labor Day sale going on right now at Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. It is the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Little Leabo Sounds brought to you by Family Leisure. Labor Day sales going on right now. Get over there, stock up. Great Kansas City company, more than 25 years in business. They've got the sale going on. If you mention 810, you can save even more. Todd, Jaden Hicks has looked pretty good in a couple of preseason games.
He really, really has. It was I felt kind of an insightful, honest answer from him today, talking about last year he just didn't really have a lot of confidence, and that's really no way to go out there and play football.
I would say, maybe last year I let my confidence dip down, not trusting myself. But, in this game, you're going to have ups and downs. And I feel like the biggest part is just to keep your confidence, keep under control, and, just learning that and realizing what it has to take and what you have to do to make sure you stay there. I feel like that helped a lot. I felt like I was doing the right thing, but sometimes it wasn't. And, sometimes, the coaches would get on you and stuff like that, which they should. And just some of that confidence, might have dipped.
Everybody takes coaching differently. And if you're going to making a couple of mistakes on the field and you're not responding the right way in a meeting or on the practice field or something like that, it can get you down. And, the question is what comes first, making the plays or the confidence? Does one lead to the other? Right now, he's playing pretty well, and he's going to have a little more responsibility this year because all of a sudden he's not a kid here. He's kind of the old guy.
Yeah.
In the backfield. So this is a big year for him.
It is a big year for him. He needs to establish himself as a starting player so he can start thinking about what kind of contract he might be able to get the next time around. I'll say this. I was told by people in Vegas, he's from Vegas originally, and I was told by people in Vegas, people who know his family, great kid.
He definitely seems like a great kid. Always got a smile on his face. But listen, you either do or you don't when you're playing football. He's got all the kind of talent you need to do this, but you have to get out there and get it done. You have to have that confidence to go get it done. And I think when you make a play, he had a really nice breakup on a touchdown pass the first week, had a nice free blitz last week. I mean, so I think he's got the talent to get it done, but he's got to do it.
Yeah,
talent won't get it done.
Do the Chiefs win, Todd? Should we load up because they're tired of this, 8-game losing streak? Do they go for it? You should load up and pound the Chiefs. What's the spread?
I would
the number in the game.
Put a penny on the outcome of this
I asked
game.
what's the spread, and Kyle's reaction. Does he go shooting to his phone? No, he just shrugs his shoulders.
He said,
nah,
"Hey,
I don't know.
What do you say?
What do you think I am, Fat Jack here?" So thanks, Todd.
Chiefs got to be favored by 14.
It is
probably a couple points one way, right?
Who are they playing? Help me
Seattle.
out.
Seahawks.
Seahawks minus 2.5.
Oh.
You know what? Money line those Chiefs.
Not betting this game.
Put an end to that losing streak.
Not doing
Who
it.
are they playing? All right, the Steelers drafted 4 Hall of Famers in 1974. They also signed an undrafted free agent that made the Hall. Who is he? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
to, maybe go on and go to college, whether to play football or just, have an opportunity to learn a little bit of discipline, maybe learn a little bit of time management. And he's done a great job. So, Steve is not only a great plumber with a great company, but also a great person. So we're just so glad to have him here with 810 WHB.
Yes, I agree. And they do a phenomenal job. Just finished up a bathroom for my mom's house. That turned out absolutely fantastic. We always say, you tell them you want the Petro discount. You need a new tub, shower, bathroom, all put together. You can save a couple K by telling them you want the Petro discount that you heard about here on 810. Go to theplumbingpro.com. That's theplumbingpro.com. You just heard the details. I always say it. They live here. They work here. They coach here. As Steve's still coaching football here, thanks to the great Tim Grunhard. So I think if I got this right, you're saying he owes his coaching career to you?
He absolutely owes his coaching career to me, not his plumbing career, but his coaching career. He may owe his plumbing career to Bill Grigsby. Bill Grigsby, remember back in the day, he was the plumbing pro, and
that's right.
And I remember that, but it just didn't click. It didn't click when I first started dealing with Steve. But you guys, doing the show and talking about it over the years, he was one of the original sponsors over with Bill Grigsby, and Bill Grigsby loved him. So, yeah. Good guy. So what's going on, guys? How are you? How's everything going in KC?
Doing pretty good. It is, I don't know, what's your reaction? Talking to you during the break, you were a little salty about this Chiefs game. The offensive line play was fantastic, right, Tim? But, so let's talk about something else. No, let's dive into your forte. The tackles did not look good. How painful was it for you to watch?
Yeah, the tackles didn't look good. I went back and watched the All-22 this morning again just to make sure that I had it fresh in my mind as we talked on the show today, trying to be the best guest for you guys that I possibly can be. Whatever I could do to make your show just a little bit better. I know it takes a lot because you guys are great, but went and watched it, and it's just let's start with Khalil Benson. Khalil Benson playing out at the right tackle position. He didn't play that poorly. He just seems a tick behind. Like the defensive ends and the three techniques when he's trying to cut him off on the backside of runs are just a step ahead of him. Part of that is, everybody wants to blame the athleticism, and I'm not quite sure if that's exactly it. Just, watching it and really studying it and really trying to put a grade to it, it's more that he's seeing too much. He's trying to do too much. There was the one sack strip that he gave up when he picked up the ball and ran for a couple of yards, and that kind of crazy play. It wasn't that he got beat physically. He got beat mentally. He was peeking at that three technique and the inside linebacker who kind of walked up into a position, looked like he was going to blitz, but neither one of those guys were his person. Neither one was his responsibility. Neither one was the guy that he was responsible for. So by kind of peeking in there and kind of hesitating a little bit, he gave up that outside pressure. I believe it was Nelson who came around and had the sack strip. And it was more the mental part of the game. And even I think he's okay when you're running behind him. He's okay when he knows, hey, listen, I just come off the football, put my hands inside and kind of road grade this guy. But in pass protection, when you're showing a little bit of a blitz or you're a little bit of an odd look or something, when I say odd look, I'm not talking about 3-4. I'm talking about a look that maybe wasn't presented to him in practice. He just seems to be hesitating. And I've told you guys this a million times, and I'll say it 1,000,001 times. You can't hesitate in the NFL. And that's what his problem has been really through the first two preseason games. Whether he can get that corrected by the time they go and play Denver on Monday night, if he's in there, I don't know. I'm not quite sure that he can get it corrected. I think he's going to be a good football player. I think he's got an opportunity to play here, but I don't think he's quite ready.
Yeah, Reuben Bain smoked him on one of them that he put pressure on. And to your point, like a lot of people are making Andy Reid said, well, the silent snap count. He's got to get up to speed on that. So let's start with that right there. Is that just coach speak? Or is the silent snap count really a problem and something that he may have
maybe struggling with. I mean, I would think Indiana, maybe the key to Indiana's success is that they keep it simple, stupid, the KISS principle. And so they're really good. The old, if everyone remember the Titans, we got like 5 plays, but we run them better than anybody. Vince Lombardi, we just run the sweep over and over again. And so even though they know it's coming, they can't stop it. Maybe that's how Indiana operated, and the NFL is much more like sneak attack type style of doing things. But how much can we put on the silent count was the issue for Khalil Benson?
Yeah. Listen, I think Andy's trying to protect the young offensive lineman a little bit. I think it's just a symptom of the disease that he has right now, where he's seeing too much and he's just not on the same page with everybody on the offensive line quite yet. And that doesn't mean that he can't do it. Doesn't mean he's not smart enough to do it. It just means that right now, just like any other sport, whether you're a baseball player or a basketball or a football player, when you're trying to see too much or do too much, you start to get paralysis by analysis. And it looks like that's what's happening to him right now. The silent snap count, I'm the worst person to ask about a silent snap count, because I never really worried about snap counts, because it was kind of on me. The quarterback would either lift his leg up. But I will say that, you know what, it's something you kind of have to get used to. I'm surprised that they didn't have to do that at Indiana. But maybe it's just because the guys that he's playing against in the NFL, and whether it's first team, second team, or even third team, are probably better than 90% of the guys that he played against in the Big Ten. So, he's going against guys that are very athletic and very fast, and veteran guys that, are waiting for those little movements, those little ticks, those little tells, so they can get off the ball a little bit quicker than maybe a college guy can. It just seems like he's a little behind. I thought he looked really good when he pulled around. There was a couple like little toss sweeps that he pulled around. He got out in space, and he did okay out in space. So I don't think it's an athletic problem.
Well, to that point, Tim, Eric Bieniemy in his comment, tried to lighten the mood and joked about the fact that he said, the way he took off with the ball, right? He gave up this sack strip, and then he picks up the fumble and takes off running. And he said, how did he put it? The way you ran right there, that's how I need you to be every time. Play like that every time. So we did see the athleticism, even when he was, being an impromptu running back.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about the athleticism. I'm not too worried that he can't physically do it. I think that he can. I think right now he's just he's like Howard Mudd. You guys have seen the movie Beetlejuice, right? The old movie Beetlejuice, when the guy's head would spin around and he just kind of be, he used to call it being Beetlejuice, when your head's spinning so much that you don't know what's going on. And I think that that's kind of where Khalil Benson is right now at this point of training camp going into the season. I think his head's spinning. And I think that he's just thinking a little bit too much, and instead of just reacting and going and playing, he's kind of spinning in the mud a little bit. So he's got to get his mind right a little bit as the season progresses.
What's a reasonable timeline for his head to stop spinning to where he can actually play that position in the NFL in a regular season game against good players?
Yeah, that's a great question. I hope he's not forced into a position where he's got to learn on the run, which that might happen. With Josh Simmons, is he going to be completely healthy? Is Jalen Moore going to stay completely healthy? Is Trey Smith, who's now back practicing, is his back going to stay, healthy and be able to get out there and play consistently? So he may be forced in, and I think that's going to try to speed up the process of him trying to make that adjustment. But the reality is that, you need, I felt like I was very prepared to come in and play in the NFL. I never really played the center position, but I felt like I was prepared mentally to play. But even with that, Marty Schottenheimer, I didn't play in the Minnesota game, the very first game, until the third series. And then in the Monday night game against the Denver Broncos, I didn't go in until the second series. And then after that, they put me in. So it was kind of just let it kind of come to you a little bit. And I think that it's going to take a little bit of time for him to kind of let the game come to him. And I think maybe 4 or 5 games of kind of being out there and kind of learning by osmosis, kind of learning from watching, learning from, seeing guys do it and getting corrected, that could help speed up the process. Because once again, I don't think it's an athletic issue. I just think it's a mental issue. And I think mentally right now he's struggling.
Yeah, I think, you can see him whether it was, I think Andy may have seen somebody probably tipped him off to the video that was going around of him looking in and the ball being snapped and him just kind of looking in at the ball like he didn't know when the ball was going to go, and so he needed to see the ball move. And by that point, I think it was Bain was already off the line and going by him, and so everyone's jumping on that fact. And I think Andy could have seen that video and be like, well, he didn't, it's the silent snap count. When in reality, I'm with you. It's you need to line up and be like, I know my job here, and so here's my opponent and I'm ready, snap, let's go. And he just reacts when instead he's going, okay, what was the count on? Because what's my assignment? I've got to look, and the linebacker, is the linebacker walking up? Do I have the edge here? Wait a minute, did he just call a protection change and I'm supposed to block down? And wait a minute, no, I still have Reuben Bain here. I got to get this guy on the outside. When's the ball going? I forgot the snap count. All those things are going through his head. I think, is that kind of the mindset that's happening? And instead of just he changed the protection, I know what that is, that's just an automatic, reaction, and now I'm still focused on my guy, and I'm going to get off with a good quick drop step here, and I'm going to be ready for him. Instead, he's thinking through everything and not just looking at his man, because everything that he's hearing just immediately processes, right? Because we saw kind of the same thing with there's a nice I don't know, GIF, meme, whatever it is that going around of Cyrus Allen being late coming off the ball as well. He was looking in and he didn't know what was going on. And I saw some people saying, hey, this is a high-low. Can't remember, the outside receiver was going deep and he was supposed to go and do a quick out. And they ended up, checking down to the tight end where Allen looked like he was going to come open, but because he was late getting off the ball, he didn't get to the spot where he's going to come open, which was probably the design of the play, because he was processing something and looking in at the quarterback and not just head up the field ready to go and break off the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's the problem with young players, is they got to digest all that information, and it's happening. It's not instinctual. It's not reaction. It's a digestion, and that digestion makes them late.
Yeah, that you just set me up on a tee for that one. That's a great question, and it brings back a lot of different points that I think are important for people to realize. Let's go in a little bit of 400 level offensive line play. What I think you're exactly right when you talk about Cyrus Allen looking in. I don't think he's looking in at the ball. He's looking in because he's trying to digest and figure out what's going on with coverage are in. Is there going to be a hot receiver? He's seeing a lot of things. On the offensive line, you get those busy eyes. We used to say, hey, have soft eyes. Don't have busy eyes, because if you start getting busy eyes, then you put yourself in a bad position once again to hesitate. So let's go to what you're taught as an offensive lineman. Your responsibility, let's just talk about Khalil Benson and what his responsibility was on that strip sack. His responsibility was that defensive end or rush end, whatever you want to call him. He had a guy that was kind of on his inside eye, and a linebacker was kind of walked up in a stacked position, and he kind of looked in there. The key is, and this is what I always taught young offensive linemen, and one of the things that I try to do all the time, you got to use your third eye. Well, what's your third eye? Your third eye is your offside hand. If you put your offside hand up against a 3 technique or a 4 technique, that hand, you're looking at your responsibility with those 2 eyes, and that third eye is going to tell you a lot of information about what's going on. And I know you guys are probably thinking, when you talk about third eye, you're thinking about something else. And I know
I was thinking of the band Third Eye Blind.
Was it
Yeah.
Curtis and I giving each other a look? And
you guys, as soon as I said it, I was like, these guys could take this in a whole different place.
That's a third something else.
Yeah, but the reality is, if you put your inside hand inside, you can feel when that 3 technique's going to come into your body, or you can feel when that linebacker is coming, and either they're going to get picked, or you're going to have some issues with a little bit of movement or slants. So
right, Tim, I think you mentioned, I think what most people are thinking right now is, can you feel that third eye though?
Well, sometimes when you have a really good block and you maybe get a pancake, you can feel the third eye a little bit in those situations. That third eye certainly comes into play sometimes on big plays and big touchdown blocks and those kind of things. But that's not the third eye I'm talking about. I'm talking about the third eye that is that inside hand.
Yes.
But here's where art meets reality. If a player is third eye blind, you're probably in trouble in that situation.
You are, because
you can't be third eye blind.
No, you've got to be able to feel that. Let's try to take it back to just football here.
You don't have.
You guys are silly. You guys are being silly this morning.
I love it. I love it. That's fantastic.
But the reality is, if you're peeking inside, right? If you're looking at that three technique, or you're looking at that linebacker, and you have that defensive end, that little bit of looking inside, that little bit of hesitation is going to put you back a half a step, and a half a step is all it takes in the NFL to get beat. And
no, I think
Moore do a little bit of that too.
Well, yeah, and he did. He got caught looking out there and not being ready to go. But I think that is a great point that you make right there. That like the talent level, you're going up against a guy who's not a finished product for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but you know what he is? He's an All-American. Right? Reuben Bain is an All-American. He is a first-round draft pick. He's not only one of the best college players, he's one of the very best. He went in the first round of the NFL draft. And so when you're a little bit late, you're not a little bit late on a guy who's going to be selling insurance in a couple of weeks, right? You're a little bit late on a guy that was considered one of the best players in the country, not playing in the NFL at his position. And they make you pay. And he may end up being, to the chagrin of many people who wanted the Chiefs to take him, he may end up being one of the best at his position, period. And so, that does really highlight that when you go up to the NFL, it's why we hear Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid and you talk about, great, you had a good play. Now do it again. And then do it again. Right. And then do it again. Because this is not about showing you can do it once, so we're going to give you a scholarship and bring you in and coach you up. This is about you have to do it at your very best, play after play after play, because the guy across you, he's the very best as well. And that's what we saw there. That's why, number one, that's one of the reasons probably why Khalil Benson wasn't drafted, and why Jalen Moore wasn't starting in San Francisco, right? And now we're going to find out, hopefully only on one of them, if they can get their level of play up to where they can be the best version of themselves every single snap, because that's what it takes to play against the guy opposite you, right? That this is what we're seeing, and we're seeing how important Josh Simmons is, because I don't want both these guys out there at the same time. Do you?
Well, I don't, and you know what, I love your point about how athletic Bain is, and then it's the Yaya Dabi, that's how you say his name? Is it Dabi? The other outside linebacker, number 0, they have for the Bucs. Both of those guys, I mean, their focal point, their strength is speed. They're explosive, high octane guys, and that's a great lesson. It's great film for Andy Heck and that offensive line to watch that, because guess what? That's just a prequel to what's going to happen with the Denver Broncos coming in there, because that's basically what you're going to be going against. Is the Denver Broncos are known for having some guys who can come off the edge with speed. So that's a great lesson for those guys, and some great film and some great teaching points that they could take from that game. The negative is that they got beat. The positive is that they got beat in a preseason game, and they can learn as they go into the regular season, where you can't afford to have those kind of hits and those kind of sacks and those kind of sack strips. You in the NFL, just like you said, I mean, most of these guys are all Americans. They're all great football players. If you're a starting defensive lineman, you look at a guy like Vita Vea, a big, strong, physical guy, and you got to double team him because he's going to push that center or push that guard back in the backfield. So you're going to have those individual battles outside, and the Denver Broncos do very similar stuff. So it's a great precursor to what they're going to see on Monday night at Arrowhead in the first game of the season.
Yeah. No doubt. All right, let's take a break. We'll let Tim and his third eye get a little relaxation there. We'll come back. We'll talk some more Chiefs football with our football insider, our life coach, Chiefs Hall of Fame center Center. Tim Grunhard is with us. Always brought to you by our friends at the Plumbing Pro. They're very proud to be sponsoring this segment here today. Sewer, septic, drain installation. If it won't drain, if that hot water's not hot, if the washing machine ain't working, whatever it might be, the Plumbing Pro can help you out. They're the best in Kansas City since 1980. Call 816-763-8200. Don't have a plumbing problem? That's fine. Put that in your phone right now so you have it when you need it. The one to know is the Plumbing Pro. Find them online at theplumbingpro.com.
Mike Sando of The Athletic.
His mind went places where smart minds don't tend to go.
Only on the program. Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Join Union Broadcasting in thanking local companies that care. Companies That Care is an effort to let you know about local companies giving back to our community. Union Broadcasting salutes Rottler Pest Solutions. Rottler Pest Solutions proudly supports the National Kidney Foundation and is actively involved with local schools, youth sports, community events, and nonprofit organizations throughout the communities they serve. As a family-owned company, giving back has been part of their mission for over 70 years. Thank you, Rottler Pest Solutions, for being a company that cares.
When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, it can feel like there's only one option. Do your homework. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. This is SSJ, and before you schedule your surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you here in KC. They concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's actually causing the pain. Don't just accept that surgery is your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located on 435 and State Line and also in Gladstone. 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics.
In 1900 in Mazatlan, Mexico, 3 German brewers brewed the first Pacifico beer, an exceptionally drinkable Pilsner-style lager, known today for its crisp, refreshing taste and light body. Popular along the West Coast and for those seeking a balanced, easy-drinking beer. Pacifico pairs perfectly with a trip to the beach, a lake weekend, an outdoor get-together with friends, or just firing up the grill. Pacifico is perfect for any of your warm weather activities. Found in Baja, imported by surfers. Pacifico, live life, anchors up.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. 10 years ago, we opened Victory Ford with one goal, to earn your business the right way. We believe that if we treated people with honesty, respect, and gave them a great experience every single time, Kansas City would notice. And you did. Because of loyal customers like you, Victory Ford has become one of the fastest growing Ford dealerships in the region. You've trusted us with your family's vehicle purchases, your service needs, and you've told your friends and neighbors about us. We can't thank you enough. Now we're taking the next big step. We've expanded by purchasing the building directly across the street and moved our entire used vehicle operation into its own dedicated location. That means a bigger selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, even more new Ford inventory at our main store, and an even better shopping experience for everyone who walks through our doors. This growth isn't because of flashy gimmicks or high-pressure sales. It's because Kansas City believed in us, and we work every day to earn that trust all over again. From our entire Victory Ford family, thank you. Visit us today at the Legends in KCK or victoryfordkc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Fred Ramsey.
And I'm Chris Ramsey.
Together, we host the Midwest Outdoors Radio Show, brought to you by Reed Chevrolet in St. Joseph, Missouri.
We'll be talking about everything hunting and fishing in the Kansas City area and throughout the Midwest, along with guest appearances from leaders in the industry.
Together, we have over 60 years of combined experience in the outdoor world, and we'll be sharing it with you every Saturday morning from 6 to 7 a.m. on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event.
Get up to 0% on select 2026 Subaru models for up to 72 months.
And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City.
0% event and a lifetime warranty. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru. The Subaru A Lot to Love event.
VIN number 4S4SLD L61T3038472, based on 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Hey, it's Dick Ray. When your drain stops, your whole day stops. Then, no matter how many plumbers you called today, no one could come out and fix your drain problem. Well, Dick Ray is here to save your day.
All right, the La Feta Delicatessen, end of the hour answer. Steelers drafted 4 Hall of Famers in 1974. They also signed an undrafted free agent that made the Hall. Who was he?
Oh, who was one of the DBs, wasn't it? Was it Mel Blount or was it the other one? Donnie Shell?
Donnie Shell.
There you go.
Yeah. 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro. He's 74 today. 5 Hall of Famers in one Hall. By the way, that's added to a team that already had Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, Joe Green, Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, and Mel Blount. They already had
Swan.
They already had 6. Oh yeah, and Swan.
Was Swan already there? Or did Swan come later? Maybe.
No, he was in that. He was in that class.
He was in that. He was one of them in that class. So yeah,
it was Swan, Stallworth, Mike Webster, and Jack Lambert. So
Jack Lambert.
And then they already had 5. And they added 5 more.
UDFA.
Yeah.
UDFA. Donnie Shell.
So they already had Bradshaw, Harris, Green, Ham, and Blunt, and they added 5 more.
Wow.
10
Crazy.
Hall of Famers on that 74 Steelers team. And they all played in all 4.
Could that ever be repeated?
I mean, no, in all likelihood, because you can't keep your guys, but they did pile a lot of talent in there. But I think there's an element, too, of like, did the Hall of Fame players win 4 Super Bowls, or did the 4 Super Bowls get them in the Hall of Fame?
And Donnie Shell's a good example of it. 5 Pro Bowls, 3 first-team All-Pros.
The 3 first-team All-Pros is pretty good, but we're talking about an era when there were how many teams in the league then?
26.
26 teams. So not even the 32, so less competition. I think there is an element of, and so you're picking higher in every round, and but guys couldn't leave via free agency. It's an amazing accomplishment. There's no doubt. No, I don't think so, because I think one of the other things that's happened, Tim, I think that's a great point there. One of the other things that's happened is I think they're better at drafting.
Yeah.
I think they've eliminated a lot. You don't have guys coming in with the Street and Smiths magazine of the college All-American team and making their picks based upon that, right? There's so much more time, energy, and money thrown at getting it right in the draft that they have gotten better. It's still an inexact science. I still am a huge proponent of throwing numbers at it. More picks gives you more shots at it. It's still somewhat of a lottery, but they are way better now than they used to be. Like I don't think they, the Mike Mamulas of the league don't go where they went back in the day. Who was the tight end the Jets took out of Penn State? Yeah, Kyle Brady. They still, I don't think the tight end in Atlanta from Florida. Kyle Pitts. I don't think Kyle Pitts has lived up to being the highest drafted tight end of all time, but he doesn't suck.
No.
Right? So Brady couldn't play, period. And so they've gotten better. That does help too. But no, I don't think so, because I don't think there's enough dunces in the draft to allow that many guys to slide that far for one team to get it. So it's harder now. It's harder. Thanks for pointing that out, Tim. Much appreciated, my friend.
And I knew you'd have a good answer.
And they were a playoff team the previous year, so it wasn't like they were picking 5 either.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point, Curtis. La Feta is a good point, too. Go get them. On your way home tonight, if you want. 143rd and Metcalf on the southeast corner. Great delicatessen, great Italian sandwiches, great charcuterie boards, great for catering. Give them at least 24, I would say at least 48 hours. Notice, because everything's fresh. They want to make sure they got all the bread they need, all the meats, all the sauces. It is absolutely delightful. And rejoice, Prairie Village. Coming this fall, the second La Feta location, voted the number 2 new restaurant in Kansas City. It's La Feta Italian Delicatessen. Find them online at lafetadeli.com. Tell them the program sent you. If you see Adam, he'll be the smiling, red-headed Italian. Yes, Northern Italy.
Oh, yeah.
He's still Italian, even though you look at him and you go, I don't think you're Italian. He's Italian. Go see him, our buddy Adam. Great guy, great business at La Feta Italian Delicatessen. Timmy, we just saw a hint of Mansour Delane. What did you think of the few snaps we got to see of the number 6 overall pick?
Yeah, I thought he did okay. I thought he showed up. I thought his coverage was decent for a guy that really hasn't had a lot of reps in live action, obviously, up until that game. So, yeah, I so far so good. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see, if he could be the kind of guy that could be a shutdown corner, or whether he's a guy that's going to, maybe need a little bit of help over the top, especially early in his career here. That he goes against. There's going to be some good wide receivers that he matches up against, but yeah, I like the way that he was able to come flying up and turn some plays back inside, and he was willing to throw his body kind of up the field and get those, the wide receiver on a screen to kind of, shoot back inside where the rest of the team was coming to make a play. So yeah, I thought he did pretty good. Once again, I thought Emmett Johnson played well. I thought Garrett Nussmeier played well. So I think the rookies are playing okay. They're kind of holding their own as they work through this training camp process. So yeah, I think the rookies are doing a pretty decent job. I thought Peter Woods once again really didn't show up. I was hoping that'd be a guy that you could see a little bit of action from. He has, I believe, 43 snaps in this preseason, and he has 0 tackles and 1 pressure. So, is that the end all be all? Is that what we should be judging him off of? I don't know. We'll see how it goes as the season progresses, but we can only judge him off of what we've seen in the preseason. And so far, he's played with his pad level way too high. We talked about it last week, and it showed up again this week. So that's something he's certainly going to have to work on when he goes up against some of these team offensive lines. Most of the teams that they've gone against, it's been a kind of a hodgepodge of offensive linemen. It hasn't really been starting units. So, he's going to have to play a little bit better technique in order to show up in a game.
Somebody asked Steve Spagnuolo yesterday what he's been working on the most with Peter Woods, and he immediately said footwork. That there was a couple of plays in the games, and even a couple of plays in practice where his footwork got mixed up and he kind of gets off balance. How hard is that to work on? How quickly can something like that be fixed?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't see that, and that makes a lot of sense because your footwork is directly connected to your pad level. Because if you're stepping underneath yourself, then your body tends to naturally come up, and your pad level goes up, and you put yourself in a bad position. And I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about with footwork, whether it's getting to a position he needs to be in with a slant, or he needs to be gap responsible with his footwork, or whether he's stepping underneath himself. If he's stepping underneath himself, that's certainly something that could cause your pads to get a little higher. If your feet are too tight together, your pads tend to be a little bit higher. So yeah, that's interesting that he said that, because that kind of fits into what we're kind of touching on, where he hasn't been that explosive guy that we all were hoping to see early in the preseason. And, that's actually good news. That's actually good news that it's his footwork, and it's not just the tendency and the way that he plays, because if he just plays high like that, then it's hard to coach out of a guy. I didn't watch him enough at Clemson. Maybe you guys did. I know his junior year, he was a dominant football player. His senior year, he struggled a little bit. That's why he fell a little bit in the draft. But if your footwork is not where it needs to be, your pad level is going to be high. And if your pad level is high, you're not going to have any success in this league.
Well, and maybe he's playing high because all he does is watch Chris Jones tape.
Yeah, Chris Jones seems to be able to get away with it.
He does. I mean, but listen, Chris Jones is the last guy you'd be like, all right, boys, we're going to learn how to play defensive line. Watch this guy. That is the last guy. And at 6'6", because he comes straight up out of his stance. I mean, I do wonder, like, Chris Jones is the guy that I'm going to make the statement about what Peter Woods needs to hear. Hey, guess what? The guys across you, they're fast and strong too. You can't just bully him. I mean, his bad technique and bad footwork comes from the fact that even at the college level, these guys are just superior athletes and they can just throw guys around, or they can just, hop past them because they're quicker, right? And then you get to the NFL and that guy across you, I don't know. I'm going off what guys like you have told me. But then you come to the NFL and they're all Americans too. They all they're all quick, they're all strong. And so you need that technique, and you need that technique to be perfect if you're going to take advantage of guys, if you're going to be able to actually apply your strength. But if you come out of your stance and you're high and they're into your body, you're just an easy to move blocking sled at that point. And Chris Jones is just such a freak that he's the guy that's athletically more gifted than the other NFL guys. And he comes up high, and because he's 6'6", they try to get into his body, but he's already kind of sliding by him, and they can't get up into the shoulders and redirect him. Where Peter Woods comes up high, they're right on him. They're in his chest. They're grabbing those shoulder pads on the chest protector part, and they're completely going to control him. He's got to get down under the hands. Where Chris Jones actually gets, when he goes high, he's above their hand level, to where if they go up to grab him at that spot, then they're getting off balance and they're high. And that's what he does. That's why you do see Chris Jones bending some guys back, even though his technique isn't really what you would teach a guy in how to do it. And like Aaron Donald played low, man. Aaron Donald fired out. Aaron Donald got underhands. Aaron Donald got his hands up into the belly of offensive linemen, and he was the one turning them the other direction. I mean, I know they like to hint at Aaron Donald when it comes to Peter Woods. Aaron Donald did not play high. He needs to play like Aaron Donald. He doesn't need to play like Chris Jones, and right now he's playing like Chris Jones.
Yeah, I think that point that, so how do you correct that? What is a coach is trying to coach into him, the defensive line coach, and obviously Spags, talking about his footwork. It all starts with your stance, number one. Is your stance, are you in a good spot with your feet? Is one foot a little bit back? Is one foot not back enough? Is your footwork from the start in a correct position? Number two is everybody always talks about the first step, which is really important. But just like we always talked about strength, one of the things that you and I have touched on, for 20 years now, talking about defensive line play is what? Guys get into the second move. Anybody can kind of, come off and maybe win every once in a while on the first move. But if you can't get to a second move after you've been stopped or you've been stoned at the line of scrimmage, then you're going to have issues. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to footwork. That second step is so important. If the first step is in a good position, but the second step you're stepping underneath yourself, or the second step is lagging behind, or the second step is too quick and your body turns, that on the defensive line, that's when you're going to have issues. So it'll be interesting to see, and that's something I'll watch next week, and because I never thought about that. That's a great point from Spags. Obviously, he's thought about it because he's watched it. He knows exactly what's going on with Peter. But the reality is, I wonder if it's his stance. Is his stance kind of too tight? Is his stance too wide? Is that causing his first step to be a little bit behind? Is his second step stepping underneath himself? Is he taking too big of a second step? All those little things, guys, that like you said, Stern, you get away with that in college. I mean, you really can. You can get away with having poor technique because you're bigger, faster, stronger than everybody else. But in the NFL, you can't get away with it. And that's why you see a lot of young players at every position, especially on the offense and especially on the defensive line, because those guys are big and fast and strong. And if you put yourself in any kind of position where you lose leverage or you lose your ability to push or lose the ability to get in an athletic position, you're going to struggle mightily. And we're seeing that right now with Khalil Benson a little bit. And I think his is in athleticism. I think his is more mental. I think Peter Woods, and I'm not trying to say the defensive linemen don't have a lot of things to think about, but the reality is I think his right now is athletic. He's either stepping underneath himself or he's stepping too late or he's stepping, he's putting himself in bad positions with his feet. And that brings his pads up.
Yeah. So it's more actually not, you said athletic, it's more technique than perhaps than just athletic part.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that bad technique will take away your athleticism.
Yes, true. True. Good point.
So that's kind of, what I was kind of, and I don't think that Peter Woods is a bad athlete. Absolutely not. I think he's an unbelievable athlete. And I think eventually he's going to be a nice player. But, I'm glad that it's his footwork and it's not just, kind of what he does, because it's hard to break that. So we'll see if he can, like you said, I mean, Chris Jones has those swivel hips that when you guys hit him, it's like a turnstile, hitting a turnstile. And he's able to kind of get in those gaps and get in those seams and take away that little punch that he usually has.
We will get into why Tim hates on the athleticism of Peter Woods when we come back. No, I'm just kidding. We will talk a little bit of FAU, a little bit of RMT Has anybody else used that? R. Mason Thomas? Has anybody given it an RMT?
Not yet.
So I'm the lead dog. FAU and RMT. We talk about that next with Tim Grunhard. He's always brought to you by our friends at the Plumbing Pro. If you've got any kind of plumbing problems, the one to know is the Plumbing Pro. Even if it's that main line, backhoes, heavy equipment, they got all that. Commercial, residential, the Plumbing Pro. Experts in plumbing. Locally owned and operated since 1980. They're the ones that are helping out Tim. They're the ones that are helping out me with any and all of our plumbing needs. The one to know is the Plumbing Pro. Find them online at theplumbingpro.com.
The program with Soren Petro.
It's like part elephant trunk, but only about, 2 inches long? Curtis, you'd know about that.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Stephen St. John here for Kansas City Credit Union. And how about this offer? Current members who refer a friend or relative to Kansas City Credit Union will be rewarded with a $50 incentive from KCCU. Plus, the new member receives an incentive of $50 as well. Pick up referral cards at any local branch to hand out to friends and family members. No limit to the number of new member referrals. For more information, visit kansascitycreditunion.com/810sports and be sure to tell them Stephen St. John sent you.
Forbes asked, and the people answered. Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance is one of America's best insurance companies. Forbes recognizes what our customers have known for generations. We are committed to protecting families and the lives they've built. For auto, home, life, and business protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I'm Robert Rainey, and I'm proud to be part of this community. For all your insurance needs, call me at 816-436-9571.
Jeff Montgomery here from Eva Medical. I love football, and the only break I want is halftime, not another trip to the bathroom. Dr. Brown treated me with a quick, minimally invasive procedure. Learn more at miva-medical.com.
Jeremy, with 2 locations, what do you tell someone who doesn't want to spend all day buying a car or motorcycle?
We make it simple. Start at jeremyfranklin.com. Shop inventory, see your options, and know what you want before you come in.
So the process can move fast.
Exactly. We're family-owned, veteran-owned, locally operated, and we know people's time matters. If we don't have the pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV or motorcycle you want, we'll help find it and get you into it. jeremyfranklin.com, where you'll always be another satisfied customer.
Are you playing roofer roulette? That's when you bet your roof and your home on the first random roofer to ring your doorbell. Why do that when JR & Company offers a free hail and wind report online at jrstormcheck.com.
Get organized and save big money with Dakota Closets now at Menards. Dakota Closet systems can be installed in any room, from home offices and laundry rooms to walk-in or reach-in closets. Use the You Create Closet Planner to design a Dakota Closet system that maximizes your space and matches your style. Available in-store and online. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant,
Here with Tim Grunhard, always brought to you by our friends at The Plumbing Pro. The one to know is The Plumbing Pro. Find them online at theplumbingpro.com or give Steve and his great team a call at 816-763-8200. Coach Bush, be happy to help you out the way he helps out Timmy and me with all of our plumbing needs. Locally owned and operated since 1980. All plumbing problems are solved if you know The Plumbing Pro. Find them online at theplumbingpro.com. FAU RMT. Felix Onudike-Uzama, we saw him come around the edge. A lot of people are like, whoa, he didn't even get touched by the tackle. I mean, that's kind of the point, right? Like, stop downgrading him because he beat a block so successfully. It looked like he was untouched. He got there in a hurry. He delivered a blow that I think might have got called for roughing the passer. If it was Tom Brady, he was sacking back there.
If it was Carl Cheffer's crew, that's definitely getting flagged.
Would have definitely got it, but he did not. And we saw our Mason Thomas again be quick and violent in his pass rush there. We saw the blitz get home with Jaden Hicks. But let's focus on those defensive ends that are trying to fill the spot over there on the right side. What did you think of FAU? What did you think of our Mason Thomas?
Well, first of all, FAU, I think his sack was a microcosm of his career so far. If he can beat a guy with quickness around the edge, with his speed and athleticism, then he's a dominant football player in that kind of aspect. So in the game, I think he was like 26.7% win rate, which is pretty good at the defensive end position in the pass plays that he had.
Yeah,
I mean that's pretty good. So I mean it doesn't sound like it's good, but that's pretty good. He's got a high motor. The one thing that if he doesn't win his initial move, and kind of harkens back to what we talked about last segment, where if he doesn't do a really good job of getting to a second move. He lacks a counter move. He lacks that, remember Neil Smith? Neil Smith would come off the ball and if you were in front of him and he had you, and that offensive tackle had them kind of lined up, he'd go with that club or he'd go with that inside dip and he'd be able to get around guys. And Felix has not been able to develop that yet, which is a kind of a concern for me. I think he's a guy that, is 6'3", 255. He's got athleticism, raw tools, but how long do you keep a guy with raw tools who's been in the system for a while?
Well, this will be it. I mean, they
tools after 3 or 4 years of playing.
Yeah.
So that's my concern.
Yeah, they didn't pick up the 5th-year option on him for a reason, but he hasn't been healthy either. That's he had surgery. He had a hamstring injury, and then he blew the other one, and it was so bad they had to reattach the hamstring to the bone. So, there is that. There's a difference between the guy that misses games and he never. I'm not saying you should want surgery, but there's a difference between a guy who's constantly missing games who never goes under the knife, and a guy who's had to have surgeries, right? And he had a broken hand was what it was in the rookie year, but he's had leg injuries the last couple of years, and part of that. Look, sometimes it's because a guy's not doing the work to be physically ready to go. Other times it's just that, some guys are just can handle the pounding better than others. Some bodies are put together different ways. And I think one of the reasons why it may be an issue with Felix Onudike-Uzama is this is a guy that, in the story that he showed up to K-State to play defensive line at 190. Right,
something like that.
You football guys go one of two ways after you, and you're amazing because you kind of did both. You either blow up or you shrink. Right, you're either a guy that's lifted his way up to the necessary playing weight, or you're a guy that's dropped his fat ass down to the necessary playing weight. And when it's over, you go one of two ways. Like you watch Damian Woody on ESPN. Damian Woody worked his way down to the weight it was necessary to play. You now look like a guy who built your way up, right, to it because of how much lighter you are and how hard you've worked and the great shape that you're in right now. But FAU is a guy that has to really build his body up to be the necessary size to play. And I think that speaks to the fact that, that's not his normal weight that he's carrying around. And so he's probably more susceptible to those kind of leg injuries because he's putting more stress on the body than his body was really, I don't want to say designed, but really, created to handle. And so it's not a shock that, he's had some injuries because he's pushing around guys that are a lot bigger than what he was, put on this earth to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's It's a kind of a little bit of a change in what Spags usually likes to do. He likes the Karlaftis and the Dana type of defensive ends, guys that are 270 plus. And Uzama is, he's has to build up. He's a little bit light in the ass, as they say. And our Mason Thomas is like the other one you wanted to kind of bring up, and he's only about 240 pounds, 245 pounds. He's got decent arm length. I think it's like 31 or 32 inches. But the one thing that they're going to use him for is that whole NASCAR package stuff that we've been waiting for years to see it really come to fruition in Kansas City with Spags. He just hadn't had the right personnel to do it. There's a guy that I think if you were going to implement that, he's a guy you can implement it with. He does a really nice job of getting around the edge with true speed. He's got a little bit of, I don't want to compare him to Derek Thomas, but he's got a little bit of that kind of quick twitch that Derek had back in the day. So, I think there's maybe a little bit of a sea change with Spags. I think if you look around the league and you look at, we look at the Bucks, they got some undersized defensive end rush ends that they're using to kind of set that edge and get that pressure on the quarterback. You see the Denver Broncos doing it. You saw the Eagles do it a little bit over the years. So that might be the trend that's going on now, is having these maybe a little bit undersized speed guys at the edge. But Uzama, and it'll be interesting to see what our Mason Thomas could do. Can they set the edge in the run? That's your concern. Because if you got a guy that, because Uzama does not do a very good job against the run. In fact, he's brutal against the run. And our Mason Thomas, we'll see how he can, kind of adjust to having those big offensive tackles and those big tight ends going up against a guy who's 240, 245. Yeah. So that's my concern with him. But I like both of their efforts. I like both of their athleticisms. If Uzama could get to a second move and be a guy that can kind of set him up and use his speed not only to get around but also to get guys off balance and out of position, then that'll be good. And I think our Mason Thomas, we'll see how he kind of gets to that second move if he can, and how fast he can get around, kind of like the guy from Denver. And we saw Bain. Those are the kind of guys that they're looking for.
Yeah, and then we at least know that there are guys with some talent that Steve Spagnuolo's got to work with. And Ashton Gelati showed some stuff last year, so they've got a good group of guys to hopefully rotate through there. Maybe one of them will emerge. I'd love for our Mason Thomas. Sam McDowell pointed out he's got the most pressures of anybody in the preseason, and he's not playing every single snap, right? Yet he's leading the NFL in pressures here in this preseason. So there's at least some stuff for Steve Spagnuolo to work with. Tim, we've always got plenty to work with you. We appreciate it, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Talk to you next week. I'll be in studio with y'all.
It's time for the La Feta Italian Delicatessen end of the hour question. Located on the southeast corner of 143rd and Metcalf. La Feta Delicatessen. Bread made fresh each morning, coupled with the freshest ingredients and sauces created in-house for you each and every day.
All right, who hit the most career home runs against the Royals as a Blue Jay? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Fourth quarter of the program begins right now as we finish strong here on a Friday. Hour number 20. 20 hours. 19 in the books. 1 to go. Actually, I take that totally back. For me. Sorry.
For
Hour
you.
number 12.
Wow.
11 in the books. 1 to go till I have a weekend.
A 4-day weekend.
I have it in my head. It's Friday.
That's right.
It's Friday for me, people. It's Friday for me. Okay? That's it. That's all there is to it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm fired up. Let's get fired up.
You should be.
Or fired up. High school football, they'll be chanting that everywhere.
Already.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you?
It's funny.
Come on, Kyle. You got to go back.
3 or...
I just returned the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
How
gone
about you?
by already.
The
Come on, Kyle. You're gonna be at some high school football games before long.
I am.
You're gonna need all the cheers down.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's what they do at Aquinas?
I do. They do that everywhere, and this is what I've found the last couple of years doing.
I'll bring you up to speed on some things.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Doing
wanna
high
be
school
ready.
basketball at both Trinity Mission East and St. Michael out in Lee Summit. There has not been a new cheer invented since I left high school.
I don't think so.
Because I joke with the people who were on the scoreboard and the stats, like, same one did that in high school. Like, I know all the cheers. I'm like, yes. Okay, but there's only so many words, I guess. But
right.
It's so funny how it just keeps getting recycled. This is 2 generations.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, did you send a cut list?
I did. We'll just go top to bottom.
Okay. I was just like,
probably why I didn't. I was like, we're just playing them all, so
okay.
We'll just go. I arranged them in the order that would make the most sense.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good to me. We still have John Talty to come, a national college writer for CBS Sports, talking about the most expensive rosters that are out there. He's written a lot. Talking about SEC coming in today with the no NFL player rule and LSU abstaining. We're not going to take part in this vote. Not going to sully the grounds of LSU by voting that NFL players should not be allowed into college. What kind of blasphemy is it? I
abstain.
I would love to tell you how I would describe this, but it's not fit for the airwaves, and it's definitely not fit for kids. Okay? But when I said it's like this kind of person saying, I don't do this, you would be like, that's exactly what this is. You have nailed it. And you're right. I'm glad you didn't say it on the radio because I don't want my kids to hear it. But you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. It's like this kind of person saying, yeah, fine, but I don't do this.
Nailed it.
Okay. We're drawing a line here in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can make it. It's like a drug addict who's like, heroin, sure, meth, yeah, coke, you betcha, but no weed. No weed. Won't do it. Body's a temple. Like, that's kind of what this is. Like,
Yes.
You are what you are. And now here is the line.
Yes.
No, I don't want to smoke that. By the way, do you have any extra needles?
Yes. I need clean needles. I'm not smoking that crap. Oh, wait, you can boil it down and I can inject it? Okay. But that's,
Consistency, so rare.
College athletics. Hypocrisy's home.
Yes.
That's what it should be. All right, let's hear about the Chiefs.
Keith Jackson rolling over in his grave.
Keith Jackson. Well, no, that's an expensive roster there.
Oh, what the heck is going on?
How would Keith Jackson call a play with like a $6 million quarterback throwing to a $4 million wideout? How would it sound, Kay?
I'm not sure.
You could cook it up. Come on, monkey, bang your cymbals.
Okay. So here it's all on the line on 3rd and 10. Richie Rich drops back to pass, stands around, counts his money, throws it long for another Richie Rich who drops the ball. Oh, Nelly, that is not a good play.
That's $10 million wasted.
That is $10 million wasted.
Though he objected to his final day that Whoa Nelly was not his.
Yeah.
Whoa Nelly is not mine.
There was you don't even remember Keith Jackson, do you?
I don't.
He was through our youth until our about probably maybe even 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe about 20 years ago before he hung it up. But he had the southern draw, big booming voice, great diction.
Talking about boys from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, swapping paint in the trenches. He also did baseball for ABC.
He did. But he went.
But he was the voice of
college football became his thing, and he kind of zeroed in, and
everyone else said "Whoa Nelly" and fumble.
And they do an impression of him. Yeah,
yeah. He was in.
He did do fumble because I can remember him like it's like Herschel Walker coming around the outside, a helmet to the ball, and it goes squirting down.
And
fumble.
The Dan Patrick interviewed him on the Big Show. This is probably about 1990 or so, and he asked him about that. He goes, "I'll tell you this."
Wait a minute, Keith Jackson didn't stand him up?
No, he didn't.
Keith Jackson didn't send his PR guy over to say, no.
He did not.
Are you sure he got him? You sure Keith Jackson didn't sit down with me?
Relatively
sure. Make sure. Okay.
He said, I'll tell you this. Whoa, Nelly is not mine. And Patrick goes, but fumble was yours. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think about those kind of things. I just open my mouth and whatever comes out, comes out. He says, it could be, as this old boy said to me the other day, how come everyone's making fun of you? So maybe he's right. I don't know. It's just so fantastic.
All right, let's talk some Chiefs football. Andy Reid at the mic today. First of all, big problem for the Chiefs. Simmons back, still out. Reid was asked about the injury.
Yeah, just getting his back checked out. So, I mean, that's the main thing. He was doing good when he was in there. He's got the back. So, like any other injury, we got to make sure see if it's right or, what's wrong with it.
I wasn't as worried till the end.
Got to see what's wrong with it, which means he's been out this long and they don't know.
Yes.
Right? So that's either one of two things. Either one, they're wondering why he's not back, and this is going to be the kind of thing where, okay, this guy gets hurt, there's an anxiety issue here or something, and he won't come back until he's, it's a little stiff. Yeah, it's going to be a little stiff, but you can't re-injure it. Come on back. No. And this is him covering and or kind of calling out, or they literally have a guy who's been out, and they're like, okay, this should be healed by now. It's not. We need to find out what's going on here because this is something more serious.
Yep.
I don't care. I am all ears for the option that's like, no, you're being an absolute pessimist, or you're reading way too much into it. It could be as simple as this. I don't have the it's as simple as this when you hear what Andy Reid said.
Nope.
Screwed.
Yeah. We don't.
No Simmons.
Yeah.
I am close. I'm about to say I am this close to saying if Simmons doesn't play 12 games, this team doesn't go to the playoffs. I will say this. If Simmons isn't playing late in the season, when they go through that 6-game stretch, they're in big trouble.
Yep.
They're in big trouble.
I think the more we think about it, he is most definitely number 2 on that list.
Oh, you're convincing yourself.
No, but I said 2, but Todd thought maybe 3.
Oh, Todd.
The more I think about it, it is absolutely
Todd was
2.
Talking about too many buzzers and everything. Todd's a complete whining fraud.
Yeah, and I don't.
I
think,
have
I think
people
there's
emailing me saying that you get extra strikes.
I think there's a sizable gap between 2 and 3.
I don't know how Lawyer Lance puts up with Todd. I'm going to be honest with you. I know Lawyer Lance. He's a good guy. How high deals with Todd? We have to deal with him 2 hours a week, and it's tough.
It's not easy.
It is tough. I don't know how St. John does it. I don't know how he does it. Combat pay we deserve.
Mrs. Leabo
That's a joke. I know people are like, you can't make military jokes.
Yeah.
So my bad.
I don't know. Mrs. Leabo does it. Denise handles it.
She makes combat jokes?
No, handles hanging around with Tide.
Oh,
Tide.
How does a black hole work? I don't know. I don't know how Todd got Denise.
I don't know how he sustained that for 40 years.
Don't know. Charity. She's a charitable woman. That's what it is. It's pure charity. All right, Andy Reid was asked how the offensive line has looked so far.
Yeah, so I've seen improvement there, and we've been kind of moving guys around and fitting them in. especially at the tackle position, whether it's Benson going in a guard or back to right tackle and then or to left tackle. So those are valuable reps for him. And he'll be over there at left tackle this week and just see how he does with it. But I like the way the young guys have progressed. I think Caliendo, who's been here now, he's probably not considered a young guy anymore, but he's had a good camp, and so that's a positive too in there. Yeah.
Would you say you're just still evaluating the right tackle at this stage and making that decision down the line?
I think we feel comfortable with both guys. I mean, it's either one can go in, but they're both doing a decent job.
Decent's doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Yeah, decent
is lifting. If decent's
working his tail off.
That's true. He's definitely working his tail off. If the right tackles were as strong as decent is in that sentence, we wouldn't need that sentence.
We did discover that the best named player on the team just arrived probably this morning after being traded for last night. That would be Josh Easy-E Udu.
Izudu.
Have you looked up a pronunciation? Izudu?
Izudu. How do you do the Izudu that you do? Voodoo.
I kind of like Easy-E Udu.
I do too. I do too.
We gave us a whole theme of bumps. We were playing a lot of Easy-E instrumentals.
Yeah. It's one of those things like how do you spell something? You can turn it into something you can remember.
Yeah.
A cadence. Or
Izudu?
Izudu.
Izudu?
Zudu.
Okay. I do have to start getting it right.
Yes.
But it's a cool name. Josh Ezedu.
How do you do the voodoo that Izudu?
Chiefs acquired him. Reed was asked about the new O-lineman.
Andy Heck knows him because of his sons. One played with him and one coached him. So he's a big kid that has got good feet. He's smart. He can add either a starting position or depth, and he plays either guard or tackle. So we'll just see how he does when he gets here and gets into the system.
We'll just see how he does when he gets here.
Yeah.
I hope you've got some optimism.
That'd be nice.
You did just trade for him.
Yeah. And he
gave up a seventh.
He was let go by, it is a new regime in New York, but 26-year-old tackle.
He was traded. He was not let go.
Yeah,
I just don't want anyone to take the wrong connotation.
Yeah, that's
he was
true.
traded.
But traded for a future seventh-round pick.
They moved on from him.
Yeah. Traded for something that they're not going to get anything out of for at least another 2 years. It's a 28 seventh-round pick.
I mean, that means that he was their number one offensive lineman. If that took a lot to pry that away.
He'll be 27 in September, so maybe the power will show up and start.
I don't mind it.
Ball of the fence.
I think it's a depth piece. We'll see. He's at least played ball in the league, and so
6'4", 310.
Yeah.
From North Carolina. He also played briefly under Matt Nagy, who was the OC in New York.
Wait, went to camp. Yeah, I did the off-season drills with him. All right, Andy Reid talking about the quarterback rotation. Who's going to play and how much?
The young kid's going to go. Nuss is going to go. He'll start the game. Those two are going to split the game. It has nothing to do with Justin. This was all in advance, so don't make anything of that.
Will Garrett play the entire game, or?
There's a chance. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Justin, I told him just keep it loose there, But if not, then Garrett, I'm sure they all would love to play a full game, and now he has a chance, so potentially.
Could.
I'd like to see Nussmeier play the whole game.
I would too.
I would think you'd want to get Fields some reps. I mean, is he really going to go 3 full weeks without playing and be ready to go? Well, if you don't rep him in this game, when he's new to your offense, new to your team, new to his teammates, I think it's a pretty clear sign. Maybe I'm reading way too much into this, but so what? It's what I want to be true.
Yeah.
I'm an American, therefore I'll make it true. I think it means that Pat's going to play week 1, which we are all trending that way, but makes me feel a lot more like this is what's happening. Because otherwise I think you'd want to get Fields some more reps to be ready to go. Anyone disagree?
No, I absolutely think that's right.
I mean, there's the door if you do.
I'm not walking out of it.
Okay. So we're all on the same page. There it is. Not by threat. We're all on the same page. Reed was asked what he's seen from Garrett Nussmeier in 2 games.
He's done a nice job. Threw him right in the fire there with the first group. So I thought he handled it well. He wasn't, it wasn't a big shock to him. He looked like he stepped in and took it on and had good leadership and tempo in and out of the huddle, those things. So it was positive, I think. I'll pay off for him down the road.
Sounded pretty excited, didn't he?
Can't pay off for him in the past.
Sounded super excited.
Yeah,
didn't
he was.
boy.
Andy Reid usually is bouncing around. He's usually Robin Williams up there.
That he's look over here, the quarterback. Oh, he's making like Patrick Mahomes type throws.
Here, Mr. Happy.
It all points back to my theory, right? I mean, that's his game face. That's like a regular season, sour, fast Friday Andy. Therefore, Chiefs on the money line.
There you go.
Because he's bringing it.
I dig it.
That's what I'm hearing.
Dig it.
Week 1 or the Seattle game?
No, Seattle game.
Yeah.
He has had enough of this 8-game losing streak. We are putting the whole mortgage on Chiefs on the money line. 2.5 points are getting. Don't need them. Don't want them.
Don't even need them.
Give me the money line. This losing streak stops right here. Just the fact that they're only getting 2.5. Doesn't that lead you to believe that they're like, no. Andy's bringing it. We can't give him a whole field goal.
I have no usable information on that. I have no idea what betting preseason.
We'll see what Fat Jack has to say about it tomorrow.
Yeah,
well, it's got to be one of our games.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to make it one of our games. Put me down. I'll have all my picks to you. As long as you get them to me before I get on a plane.
I'll get them to you tonight.
Okay. I'll have my picks. And you tell him that I said 2.5 points. Don't want them. Don't need them. Money line this. Yeah. And count your money 3.5 hours later.
Hell yeah. No problems.
What do you got left when the online casino account? Empty the clip. Chiefs money line. You can thank me later.
Yep. Might as well.
I look forward to the stories of people coming up to me in years to come. My kid said, Dad, how did we afford college for me? And he said, son, one day I was driving home.
Crypto.
This dumbass on the radio said, put the mortgage on the Chiefs on the money line. And that's what I did. So, son, you're going to be a doctor with a Vanderbilt degree. And we owe it all to one guy.
One guy.
Petro.
Yep.
That's the story that people will come and tell to me in the years to come. I like it. All right, how about Kenneth Walker? How about Xavier Worthy? What about Rashee Rice? Reed talked about 3 other injuries on offense, starting with Walker.
For the last couple days, Ken Walker, his shoe has been causing swelling on his ankle there, so we're trying to get that down. But he's okay. He's going to be fine.
You've had a couple wide receivers like Xavier and Rashee who haven't played in a game yet. Would you like to see those guys?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to evaluate here in the next couple of days, but they've worked their tail off this week and taking a lot of reps, and that's been good for them. So we'll just see as we get closer to the game here.
His shoe's been hurting him. What's he wearing? Size 6? I mean, what? How do you? I don't know what. But
how are you a professional football player, undoubtedly with some kind of shoe contract, and you got a shoe that doesn't fit?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Or
here?
the shoe's too new, and he's got to break them in.
No, but seriously, what are we doing here?
I have no idea.
Is that not the most frustrating part of the equation?
Fit or I don't know. Did he have a blowout? Did he have some sand in it? a little chunk of gravel in his shoe. It's just strange. Want to hear some breaking college sports news?
Yes. But it's college news?
Yep.
Well, let's do the NFL news first.
Okay, cool.
Unless this is so breaking, we got to get it out there right now.
It's of local note.
All right, let's have it.
From Pete Thamel, this is the line keeps moving, this is stacking up. Big 12 athletic directors have agreed to ban professionals from returning to Big 12 schools in all sports. This is pending the FAR approval tonight. ADs were unanimous in their support. This follows in line with similar concepts at the Big 10 and SEC. And the ACC announcing earlier today, they met today, and there is momentum to join the Big 10 and SEC as well. So they need more board approval.
You know what my reaction is to that? Like Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw the dice. I'm gonna throw the dice.
Yeah.
That's my reaction to that. You know, the universal symbol for you get the dice ready.
Mm-hmm.
That's my reaction to that. This is the biggest nonsense ever. Ever. The famous Travis Kelce dice throw. That's my reaction.
I wonder if anything that's every one of them agrees on everywhere. The only people that haven't voted on it were LSU when they were abstained. You kind of wonder, how can something that's actually meaningful just be completely unanimous by everyone that's voting on it?
We're gonna talk about it with John Talty here in a second. I mean, I hope these fools don't actually think they accomplished something. Like they're all sitting around slapping each other on the back. I mean, hey guys,
yeah,
truth, justice, and the integrity of college football. We saved it today. Like, what a bunch of putzes. This is it. This is what brought you all together.
Yes.
Years of knowing that you're going to have to pay players, not preparing at all, knowing that this is, numerous circumstances are coming, and now in the midst of exploding money coming, Louisville taking loans to pay football and basketball players and everything. Today, though, we brought tyranny to its knees.
Yeah.
6 kids who are going to try to come back and play college football will not. That is it.
I think
what a bunch of absolute, seriously, Kelce dice throwers.
The unanimity of the vote tells you how meaningful it was. You couldn't get them. You couldn't get all those people to vote unanimously that today was Wednesday. They all agreed. It can't mean anything.
We're not doing this.
Yes, if it meant anything, somebody would object.
You mean a guy who's the same age as the other guys we've got here, who we're going to pay like we're paying the other guys? He went up and was in an NFL training camp. He is sullied. He is no longer pure.
Like everyone else.
He now carries the stench of the National Football League. And here's the worst part. The NFL will inform its clubs that any player who returns to the college ranks will be prohibited from signing with an NFL team this season. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. What, did Schefter feel left out? Well, I better get a story on this. The league plans to provide this clarity to clubs, reiterating rules that remain unaltered despite a chaotic week in the NCAA as multiple players seek a 5th year of college eligibility. Not 1,000 players, by the way, multiple.
Yeah.
A handful. All of these conferences quit doing whatever they're doing, had emergency meetings so a handful of guys don't get to come back and play college football. You have got to be kidding me. I've never seen more made of nothing than this. Let's talk about it some more. John Talty will be here. We'll make more of the nothing by talking to John Talty, senior college writer for CBS Sports. He's coming up next.
The program with Soren Petro.
I'm out.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Listen up, there's a great new way to save at Hen House. I don't know about you, but I love going to the Hen House, whether it's their award-winning salad bar, maybe it's the bakery. I love to go in there and grab some bagels on the weekends. That's one of the things me and my girls love to do. Maybe it's over to the delicatessen. Don't sleep on the ham salad. Huge fan of the ham salad. Yes, chicken salad's great. Yes, tuna salad's great. But get in there and try that ham salad. If you like salty, you'll love the ham salad. Their delicatessen's great. They can even make the whole meal for you. Sandwiches, everything. Hen House is just a great place, and it's a big part of my family. Been a part of my life my entire life. I mean, whether it was Prairie Village when I was a kid, whether it was Corinth when I was in high school, grabbing a quick lunch when we would get out, or now at 119th and Row and 135th and Metcalf. That's where we go for our pharmacy, by the way. Right now they've got their new app, the Hen House Passport Rewards. Get rewarded every time you shop. The key is bigger savings and personalized offers based upon the products you love. That's right. What do you love? Okay, they're going to make sure that the savings go towards the products you actually buy. Digital coupons you can redeem right from your phone. Exclusive member-only specials and invitations to special in-store events and promotions. Planning this week's grocery trip? Before you shop, check the Passport Rewards app and unlock deals that help you save more on everything. From produce, the freshest produce around, premium meats to pantry staples, your favorite local products. Best of all, quick, easy. That's right. That's how it works. Completely free to download, and it's quick and easy. The more you shop, the more opportunities you'll have to discover personalized savings. They're made just for you, so don't miss out. Download the Hen House Passport Rewards app today. Pull over if you're driving. Stop. Download the app right now. You're going to need it. Start enjoying smarter shopping. Bigger savings, more rewards every time you visit Hen House. Hen House Passport Rewards. Your grocery dollars should go further. Your wallet will thank you at your neighborhood Hen House.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
You're listening to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We're talking college football. My God, the world almost ended. I don't know if you know this. We were that close. And then the Power Four conferences of college athletics came together and kept what may have been as many as upwards of 10 people from going back and playing college football. They stopped everything they're doing.
Otherwise, it would have sent the college football world would have
life as we know it,
shaking it to its foundation. Wasn't that the term that they used?
Yes, back in the FBI probe. Yeah. Yet again, this is up there. This is up there. This is a one-day event and not months. But all the hubbub about, oh my God, college basketball will never be the same after this FBI probe. Remember that nonsense? Well, I give you today. Okay, I give you today. Let's talk about it. John Talty is with us. He is the senior college writer for CBS Sports. John, how are you, sir?
I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you very much for the time. Enjoyed reading a lot of your stuff here on CBS, so it's great to get a chance to chat with you. Listen, I know this is a big deal and it's a big story, and because these conferences have made it a big story, but, like, what am I missing? A handful of guys in 1 year. Like, this isn't even something that's going to be a problem in the future, right? Because the 5-for-5 will take care of it. Or I guess is there fear that somebody's going to declare for the draft early, go in the 4th or 5th round, not be able to make the club, and so we'll have a trickle down of a couple of guys. I mean, seriously, if every player drafted every year did this, we'd be talking about 250 total players, and we know that's not going to happen. So even if this is going to continue beyond this year, I cannot believe how big a deal they're making out of what is just a handful of kids trying to come back and play college ball.
I think there's two reasons why it matters and maybe has gotten the attention that it has. I think one is that kind of, I would say in some ways similar to the Brendan Sorsby situation. Like, it seems like there are certain lines in the sand that are being drawn where it's like, we're going to lose a lot of things. Things are going to continue to change, but there's certain things that we're going to just say we're not okay with and we're not going to allow to happen. And you saw the Big 12 and other schools rise up against this idea of Texas Tech trying to play Brendan Sorsby after it came out that he had been, gambling while in college, including on his own team. So that's one. And I think the other real line in the sand we're seeing is that anyone who has signed a professional contract in the NBA or NFL, they are not and should not be allowed to come back to college sports. Now, you can disagree with whether that should be a line in the sand or not, but pretty universal, I would say, in a lot of ways, the reaction that I've gotten from people across different conferences of like, this should not be allowed, whether it's one guy or 100 guys. Like, you just don't want to allow a certain level of precedent starting. And I saw that. I live in Alabama. I saw that a year ago with the way people rose up against Alabama trying to play Charles Bediako, who had been in the G League. We're seeing it, of course, now in college space with, the reaction that we've gotten to some of these guys trying to come back. So that's part one. Part two, and I would argue the more interesting part, at least in my neck of the woods, is that you are now seeing this almost 1 versus 15 within the SEC, where the LSU orchestrated and engineered a lot of what we're seeing happen here with that lawsuit filed in Louisiana to allow some of these players to come back to play. And the SEC has now ruled that's not allowed. And LSU hasn't folded their hand yet. There's still belief that LSU could maybe sue down the line, or whether they could continue to support these players playing. So that, to me, is the more interesting idea of, again, kind of like Texas Tech, will LSU hold on to its hand and really fight back against Greg Sankey and the rest of the SEC, which have made very clear they are not okay with professional players playing in the SEC this year, and the penalties, if you do, are steep.
Okay, and on that second one, let me ask you this. If it weren't Lane Kiffin, if it were Nick Saban, would it be 15-1 against? Like, is this as much about the backlash towards Lane Kiffin as it is they all really are this passionate about it? And I think it carries over not just to 15-1. I think the other leagues. I don't think Lane Kiffin's a popular guy. And the fact that he jumped on it, and of course it's former players of his, but what I think is amazing is one of the former players is a guy who basically railed on him for leaving Ole Miss and talked about how he's going to troll him and all that kind of stuff, and now he's turning around and going to go play for him, which is a great testament. Kids out there, don't burn bridges, and money always talks. Okay, suddenly he's okay with Lane Kiffin. But if it weren't Lane Kiffin, like, how would this be different?
Well, you're talking to a guy who has a book on Lane Kiffin coming out in 3 weeks. So,
awesome. Awesome.
He's a polarizing figure, right, in a lot of ways. And I think one of the things with Lane is that, and he has some friendships, but largely a transactional guy and has burned bridges everywhere he's been, right?
Wait a minute. So what does a transactional guy mean? Because you put it alongside with not many friends. So what is that? Tie that together for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll give you an example. Like, when there was initially thinking that he might get Trinidad Chambliss to come with him to LSU, and this is, a little preview. It's in my book that's coming out. But, he was working with some lawyers to try to help facilitate that. And when he wants something from you, like, he'll text you all day, he'll call you all day. And then the minute it looked like he was no longer going to be able to get Trinidad to come with him to LSU, like, he just stopped texting those people and, like, basically just ghosted them. And, like, that's not necessarily a unique experience. Like, if he wants something, it's why he's a good recruiter.
Okay.
If he wants something, he will go full bore for it. And if he doesn't feel like he needs something from you or you can't offer him something, he's just not going to respond or not going to help you. And so that sometimes hurts your relationships, right? Because it's like, all right, I need you in this moment, and then I'll find the next guy who I need, and I'm not necessarily maintaining those relationships with other people that no longer are super necessary to me. So that is, I think, again, partly why he has had bad breakups in a lot of places that he's been and had some, bad blood at places like Ole Miss and Tennessee and Alabama and my state and down the line. So that's just kind of part of his who he is. But he's very steadfast in what he wants. And so I'm not surprised that he is pushing as hard as he can to try to add these guys to his roster if he believes they can help him win this year. And clearly he does believe that. So it makes for a really interesting dynamic. And I agree with you. Like, I still think that this is a line in the sand in general for people in college sports, but Lane Kiffin, you could argue, is maybe the worst messenger for this particular battle. And the same thing of last year. I mean, there are people who have told me privately, like, what happened with him, like, a lot of people could have fallen into that challenge. It's just the fact that it was Lane Kiffin just adds stakes and drama, and he doesn't help himself with some of the things that he does as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's an odd duck. There's no doubt about it. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. Look, Jim Harbaugh is kind of an odd duck, but I know people who know him and they say he's great. But talk show hosts don't like him. But Colin Cowherd got sideways with him because I've interviewed him. And I love interviewing him because he's a challenge. He's difficult. Long pauses. You're like, well, did he hang up? Did he, what the hell's going on here? And then he thinks about his answer and then he gives you a one-word answer. It's like you better come with a question that's, don't be like, talk about passing the ball. It's necessary. Like, he's not going to then be like, well, it's an integral part of the game, and listen, it's taken over. Like, he's not going to do the work for you, right? Like, and that's one of the reasons why I like Jim Harbaugh, and I like hearing other people's interviews that go down the toilet because they're lazy and just want to wing a couple of things out there. And is Lane Kiffin got some of that in him, or is Lane Kiffin just on the spectrum somewhere, which I don't say flippantly. I think we all are to some degree, right? And he's just so awkward up there at the podium because that's just he's just kind of an awkward guy, but somehow that plays with his players. Somehow they get close to him. There is a side of him that makes him a guy that they want to go run through a wall for. No, they just has something they want. Money now to play and playing at big-time universities and a chance to go on to be a professional athlete. Is it as simple as that? Is it just a business transaction between him and his players?
Yeah, it's the duality of man. I mean, I think there's some of all of that in him. Like, I would tell you that, and I have also interviewed Jim Harbaugh and also find him a fascinating human being.
Thank you.
I think Lane, there is some similarities there where he is, awkward, he's introverted. I think because sometimes we see the clips, whether it's on social media or some of his little one-liners, like, he's a funny guy, there's no doubt about it, that I think sometimes where people get surprised, maybe even like people like you and me, the first time you interview him, is like, you're expecting almost like a comedian in some ways, and he's not that at all. Like, in real life, in person, if you're sitting across the table with him, like, he may not look you in the eye. Like, he's going to be kind of staring off the space. He's probably thinking about football plays and not thinking about the interview. Like, he's just a little different. He's a unique guy. And it's funny, I was talking to somebody the other day who was with him at Tennessee, and they were basically like, we could not take him to dinners with donors. Like, if I lined up Jim Haslam across from him at a dinner, it was going to go horribly bad because he's just not interested. He's not really capable of making small talk. It's not his thing. But fans enjoyed him because they can see what he can do in terms of when he coaches. And I do think he is a savant when it comes to designing offensive plays and getting the most out of an offense. And so I think in this current era, he's well built for it because it is more transactional. It is, I'm going to make one phone call to you. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to offer you $3 million a year. Here's what my offense is. I think we're going to score X amount of points. Do you want to come or no? And it's quick, it's fast paced, and that's what he is best for. He was never necessarily the best at, I'm going to recruit you for 3 years. I'm going to eat your mom's cooking, and I'm going to tell you about how I'm going to turn you into a man. Like, that was never his strongest suit. So I think this current era, he is the self-proclaimed portal king. He is better at it because of how fast-paced it is and how it does, involve money. And there are other coaches who have, kind of been scared off by it, or they don't want to deal with it, or they hate, what the game has become. Like, Lane does not feel that way. And I think Lane has embraced the change almost as well as anybody in college football to this point.
We're talking to John Talty, CBS Sports National College writer, is with us here in the program. So what is it they think, what do they think is so bad about this? I mean, they signed a professional contract. I get it. That's not killing puppies, okay? That's signing a professional contract. I understand that it's never happened before, but what is the outrage? What is the moral line that's been crossed when you sign a professional contract, which, near as I can tell, is now no different than committing to an NIL deal to play college football? I just cannot get my arms around what they think is so bad about a kid who took a run at it. I'm not going to make the team. I can go back here. I'm good enough to play on that team, and I'll make some money. I mean, what is the, I guess, the three dominoes down the road that they think makes it just an unbearable thing? Like, what do they think is coming? Because clearly 4 or 5 kids is what we're talking about this year, right? Like, that's not going to totally change college football. So what is this, doomsday scenario that they think that they've got to stop immediately right now this year?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, like in theory, right, it should just be a limited time example of just these class of 2022 kids. I think the fear, and in some ways I understand the fear to an extent of, it does seem like the line is constantly moving, and things that maybe we felt like were true and would never change have changed. And I think there's the fear, well, if you now move this thing, then you're going to get sued in this other way. And in some ways, this is partly what has happened in this situation, right? Like, there are people constantly suing for more eligibility, for, well, I was sick and I need another year. And so what was their solution? Well, let's make it 5 for 5, where kids have 5 years of eligibility to play 5 seasons. Well, what happens? Somebody's going to sue because they get excluded. And so I think the fear is just like, at what point does it stop? Do we just have to make a stand somewhere and whatever happens, happens? Or do we just keep moving the line? And does it lead to guys who have played in real NFL games coming back? Like, where does it stop? Because sometimes you think it's done and then more things happen. So I can understand where some of that fear comes from. And I think purely just from a short-term perspective, I think the fear is like, what does this do in terms of kids? Are kids going to get cut from these teams because we're adding NFL players now? Like, there's just some, I think, unintended consequences that could also not be great that they're trying to prevent. But again, I think more than anything, it's really just we have to make a stand somewhere. We saw it at Sorsby. I think you're seeing it again here, where it's like, we will allow a lot, but this is where we're not going to allow. And if we don't stand here on the line that professional players cannot play in our leagues, what is stopping us from just becoming a semi-pro league? Which some people like you might believe it already is, but
I do.
There are some
How could you not
think that we are still a little bit different?
I mean, tell me, you don't? Because I already, with your Jim Harbaugh comment, I immensely respect your opinions. So I would love for you to tell me, and the fact that you wrote a Lane Kiffin book, what timing? That's awesome too. I love that part of the equation. But how is it not?
The only reason why it's not, and I agree with you, and I think there is a world in which we keep moving down this path. The only thing that's stopping it is that we are still held up by kids having to go to class, by kids. Come on.
Wait a minute. Can we? Not to interrupt you, John, but I just want to examine that real quickly. When was the last time somebody was ineligible for academics? Can you name me the last time academically somebody was ineligible because they didn't go to class?
I'm sure it's happened. It's not something that's high on my list of things I've been watching.
Right. But I mean,
I'm sure it's happened.
I saw your picture when I was looking at all your stuff and everything. I think you're significantly younger than me. What are you? Maybe 28, 30, something like that.
I appreciate you saying that. I'm late 30s, so I appreciate you thinking of it.
Well done. Well, why don't you get an updated photo, John? Stop trying to pull one over on us. No. Well done for you.
I'm 60 and look 80.
But my point here is that was all the time, right? It was all the time. And it wasn't just some rummy. Star players all the time, academically ineligible. And now no one's academically ineligible, right? You have not had to write, well, Pisser for Alabama, their starting quarterback's been ruled academically ineligible. I mean, you go back 10 years ago, what do we have? Missouri had like 4 different ones. They had a tutor writing papers, and they had all this. None of that has happened. Are you telling me that we have just become so pure in this country that nobody cheats at school? I mean, come on. I got friends whose kids have been busted for cheating, and they don't play sports. I mean, for God's sake, you're telling me athletes have now hunkered down and are really cracking the books? We just don't even look anymore. It's like marijuana. The NFL has a rule against it. They don't test. They're not testing. No one tests positive for marijuana anymore. You want to know why? Because they don't test. That's why. Just like no one's checking about the academics. It's impossible. It's impossible.
I don't disagree. And I can remember having to write about APR rates. If you guys remember what those were.
Yes.
I don't think I've written about APR rates in 5 years. So I don't disagree with you. I think the point that I was trying to make is that there are things that would seem like easy fixes that, for whatever reason, and what people tell you is because of the academic calendar. It's like, well, a kid has to be admitted into school, and it can only happen in this time frame. So thus, for instance, the transfer portal has to be in a time that does not make sense. Like, you would never have free agency in the NFL happening the same time as the playoffs, right? It would be idiotic. But that's what college sports has. And again, it's allegedly because of the academic calendar, right? So that's where I just think it's the one thing that, like, the easy fixes that we would think of in college, in pro sports, like, hey, why do all these issues keep happening? Well, because they have not collectively bargained. Why haven't they done that? Well, there's a lot of unique challenges when it's different universities and public institutions. And so there's just things that make it a little different, I think, still as the college space, where it's why, in many ways, I think it's whackable, where just when you think you've fixed one thing, 3 other things pop up. And that's kind of what I think is also happening right now, where it's like, man, everybody keeps yelling at us for not giving 5 for 5. Let's give kids 5 years. And then what happens? People sue and they start losing, and then, chaos happens again. So there's just a lot of things that, if you or I were like, hey, let's take over college sports, let's fix things, I think we would get frustrated after a certain point, because we'd be running into these university presidents who don't understand sports saying, well, we can't do that for this reason. So it's just a little bit different in that regard. But for all the other things, like, their kids are making more in college than they would in the NFL, which is why kids are wanting to come back to college, because they can make more in some ways as a star player at LSU than they would as a practice dummy for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah. I talked to the NFL scouts and GMs and stuff, and they're like, yeah, like, our 5th round sucks now because, like, nobody's coming out because they can make more money by staying in college. And you mentioned the whack-a-mole. I mean, if they just had, what they need is like an association, something to govern them, like a college athletics association, maybe even have it be national, like a national collegiate athletic association that everybody just obeyed their rules. But I guess no one's ever thought of anything like that.
Silly talk.
Or wanted to adhere to rules. It's amazing. Time for our Final Four with John. By the way, I got to one thing on my list that I'd actually planned to talk to you about, so we will have to have you on again. So get ready for Kyle to mercilessly text you and demand that you come back on the program. That's coming, John. Let's start with first 4 quickies. You just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. The book's title, because I got to go order it right now. What is it?
Lane being Lane.
That's fantastic.
Says it all. You don't have to say much, but people know. Like, yep, that's Lane being Lane. I've heard it a lot just in the last couple of days. So
Lane being Lane. It's going to be up there
on
with
Amazon, wherever you want.
Yeah, Lane being Lane. It's going to be up there with Swing Your Sword. The late Mississippi State, Washington State, Texas Tech.
Mike Leach.
Mike Leach. Yeah, Mike Leach book.
I'd like to hear his comments.
I love reading the guys that are characters, so I can't wait for this one. Lane being Lane. All right. So you got to talk to Lane, right? As far as the book.
You'll see when you read it, but there was communication back and forth.
Okay, all right. So how's he so tan? What's the deal? Is he on like a reflective raft on a lake all day? Like, what is this man doing?
He loves the beach. He also loves being on a boat and fishing, and that's one of his areas of relaxation. Like, he just loves like deep sea fish and stuff like that. So
okay.
He's on boats a lot, evidently shirtless, and seems to be getting quite the tan.
Well, and he got himself in shape. I watched the little documentary on him. Hot yoga. Did you, by chance, partake of a hot yoga class with Lane Kiffin in writing this book?
I haven't, but I did make some visits to hot yoga studios in Oxford, and there were some interesting stories there.
Yes. I can't wait for this. Finally, I'll go with one that I actually had written before this. What's your national championship game? Who over who before the season gets started? Who beats who for the national championship of college football?
Yeah, I kind of already hate my pick, but
good. It makes you like us.
Yeah, I just think I went real chalk here. I picked Ohio State over Texas, and the reason why, in part, is the last book that I wrote was called The Price. I wrote it with Armin Gatayan, great journalist and author. And in that book, we followed Julian Saint's recruitment, and that included him going to Alabama, Nick Saban retires, him transferring. So I just have a soft spot in my heart for Julian Saint. I want him to do well. I think he is going to do well. So the Saint plus Jeremiah Smith combo, plus I think their offense should be much better not having Brian Hartland running things. Like, I'm pretty bullish on Ohio State this year. So that's my pick, but again, I don't feel great about it.
Well, John, I don't know if you had a good time, but I did. So thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Like I said, we'll be reaching out to you to come on and talk some more down the road.
Sounds great. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, the Lafayette Delicatessen, end of the hour answer. Who hit the most career home runs against the Royals as a Blue Jay?
Most George Bell has to be. Oh my God,
17.
he hit like 3 every game.
Yep.
17?
17.
What a nightmare that guy was. I was there when he bombed 3 on opening day. I was at that opening day.
Yep.
That sucked.
Bigger game happened that night. Kansas and Oklahoma.
Oh, that's right. That was the national championship day. Yeah, that's right. Interesting.
Casey got a split.
Well, it's been a tough week, folks. We've all worked hard all week long. Now it's time to enjoy the weekend. Don't you think?
You're feeling good.
I'm feeling real good.
I'm feeling good because the body cam footage of Jed York got released.
Oh!
And guess what he had? 720s.
You nailed it. You nailed it, Kyle. You folks enjoy the rest of your week.